Can you hear me? It's Wednesday. I think it's live. Is it live?
Are we live?
Okay. To find
Where's my
out, we always
audio?
ask one. Wait, I'm getting tweets and texts. We always ask one question on every Wednesday or Tuesday or whenever the hell we do the show to find out if it's live. Is
It?
recording.
Is it broadcasting?
Work with me here, damn it.
Recording goes off.
Shenanigans. Is it recording?
Is it broadcasting?
Time more.
Shanahanigans live.
It's going to drunk. The Shaggy's unemployed.
Oh, you just spoiled that right there.
Damn
Aw.
it. I'm looking for work, folks, if you got any. I have no rhyme after that. But, oh, that would be a good rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
If you got any listings, I would be overjoyed.
Oh, that worked out so well.
See? Tragedy and rhymes go hand in hand. Oh, the recording. It's
Broadcasting.
Shanahanigans.
Live.
Right. It's Wednesday.
Hello.
Katie's here.
I'm here. Welcome to Shanahanigans Live.
Yes. Katie's here.
Yes, I am here.
That's how I get into it.
Yes.
It's so
if
shaky
you
because
can
every time I
find
perform
one-
music live, I just lose myself.
Can you actually hear me? I didn't put my mic on, so maybe I'm super
I
quiet.
hear you.
Okay.
Ow, ow, that hurts.
Sorry.
Why
Yeah.
are you doing this to our viewers?
Sorry.
We're just gaining viewers, and you're going to scare them away. It is Wednesday, Shanahanigans Live, every week, maybe, sometimes. What's up? We got people in the chat, and by chat, I mean Google Plus's erratic Q&A system, which I have no power over. We got Chris the host. What's up?
Welcome.
Carbon-based biped. And some would say it's live, others would say it's jive. We don't deal with those others who say it's jive.
We
We don't
don't.
cater to people calling us jive. You know, I saw a little tumble piece, a little photo thing with a quote from cosplayer Jessica Nigiri talking about haters and stuff. And it's all about people putting all this effort into hating you, and there's no point. You know why?
No point.
Like, what's the point? So none of this jive. Wait, jive's a bad thing, right? Or is it good?
I don't know. I think.
Or is it so bad
jive,
it's good now?
Like, I don't know what it is.
Is it kind of like saying that movie was so bad, it's good?
Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
Language doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Language has double backs. We also got Chris the host saying my first question is, where is this chat room I'm hearing about? This is kind of it, I'm afraid. Not much else. You know, there used to be a chat that we can interact with you guys. Right now we just have the Q&A. So if you're watching right now and you're like, hey, I'm a tech-savvy fellow or madam, and if you know of a good place where we could go to have a live chat stream, that would be easy to use. You know, offer it up, place it on the sacrificial table, and we'll take a look at it. Otherwise, we're just sticking with Google Plus's Q&A section here, which is, it works all right. What it also does, so if you're new to this, jump over to the Google Chat, Google Chat Q&A thingy. It's to the right, or my right, I don't know. And you can ask questions. You can also vote for questions. So if you're like, oh man, these questions are so good, but there's an even better one that's not getting the proper recognition, and man, I really wanted them to address this question, you can vote it up with pressing a button, because they have that +1, and it will become a +2, maybe even 3, and whoever gets the highest votes wins.
Yeah.
Keep track of that. And you know, if you're watching, also if you're watching and you're like, hey, I'm trying to be, you know, artsy and draw, I don't have time for these questions and answering. Well, that's your due. But if you want to contribute,
That's cool too, because that's exactly what I'm doing.
if you have questions though, or you have topics you want to throw our way, it's good. Yes, so we could do that. Okay. Let's see. We got Carmen-based by Visualizer. I don't know either. The only thing I know about Jive is, oh, stewardess, I speak Jive. I think that was a reference from Airplane. It was a way old back film. In any case, also I know Jive Turkey. That's the other phrase. But I don't know. I got to learn more about all of the language. We also got Chris the host saying, no, I was going to click Chris the host, and someone else posted. Chris the host saying, all right, so thanks again for the portfolio advice. It's all handed in now.
Oh, good.
There you go. Sometimes you gotta hand in a portfolio.
Yeah.
Carbon-based biped also saying, ugh, Google Plus is weird. Sometimes I'm carbon-based biped, and sometimes I'm Daniel Snow. It decides who I am for that day.
Confusing, yeah.
Is that not life? Or do we truly have control over oneself? We'll discuss that and more tonight on Shanahanigans Live. Thanks for joining us, caller. Your first question, Yaiba, shouting democracy. Thank you, Yaiba, for your contribution to the live show tonight. And you, the viewers at home, can also contribute, unless you're watching this show pre-recorded. Thank you.
Such a soothing voice.
It is. Should I do the rest of the show like that instead of yelling and being like, cartoons and comics?
There's kind of only one voice you can use to talk about cartoons and comics, though. It's that voice.
Well, no, I could pull off, because, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday is free comic book day. That's right. You and your loved ones can get your hands on free. I'm not making that up. Free comics. So head on over to your favorite comic distribution source and get yourself a free comic for free. Yay!
Yeah, I was waiting for it to go up.
Yeah, waiting for the explosion to happen. At some point, he was going to fall apart because he doesn't know what he's talking about. So yeah, we got a couple topics, of course. Sorry about last week. Things kind of fell apart. Lots of stories, lots of reasons.
What happened last week? So the last time we talked to you guys was the power out, I think, which was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we got totally cut off in the middle of the show. I think just our block. It wasn't even all Toronto. It was just our block was out. And then last week, what happened last week? You were sick.
I just got hit with like a flash ad. Like I've had this once before, once or twice, where it's just this out of nowhere 1 day fever. And I just like the morning I'd wake up for work, and I'd just be like, I'm not going to be able to go to work today. Like I'm not physically sick or nothing, but it's just like something's just not right.
Yeah, you just don't feel well.
And then throughout the day, I start getting like shivers and I'm sweating and stuff too. And so I'm drinking Gatorade and wrapping myself in a blanket and marathoning episodes of Young Justice because there's nothing else I can do. And yes, I've watched like 10 episodes of Young Justice. Review time. Young Justice is a silly business, folks.
I see a lot of really funny GIFs on Tumblr and stuff. It looks like a fun.
It's got some good stuff going for it. It has some stuff where I'm going like, because, but it's cute. It's silly. It's kind of like it's also kind of weird to me because like after watching like Robin from Teen Titans, this is kind of a different Robin, which is cool. It's good to have that. I don't know if it's accepted that it's a different Robin if it's like Tim Drake or Johnny Saxophone. I don't know the name of all these characters.
That's my favorite Robin.
Johnny Saxophone, orphan, and musician that Batman took in under his wing.
How many orphans does this guy find?
Quite a few. There's a boatload of orphans in Gotham. As you'll find out in the new series, Gotham, based 20 years before Batman. Orphan Town. Yeah, that's awful. But yeah, no, Young Justice is interesting. It's fun to kind of watch, and it's definitely like in my mind, I guess. I don't know if I like you don't have to say what you like better or not, but like maybe I kind of enjoy the Teen Titan character casts better. But it's an interesting show. It's fun. It's got some good action. It's neat to see all the characters brought in. But there's kind of this weird Power Rangers formula to it, where there's this like not even a Shadow Council. It's a Light Council because they're like the Brothers of the Light or whatever it is. And at the end of every episode, like the overarching Negaverse bad guys kind of thing, the shadowy ones, the League of, except it's the opposite of Shadow. It's the League of Too Bright to See.
Interesting.
I don't know if there's a word for that. Like the League of Overexposed. And they're kind of like
the League of Office Lighting,
the League of Neon, or friggin' fluorescent lighting,
the League of Subway Lighting.
Yeah, the League of Non-Two Subtleties. If you guys have names for this league too, you can submit them into the questions.
Please put in the chat.
But the point is, after there's like villain of the week type stuff. It's like this week it's Hoobadoo, and this week it's the whatever, and the Storm Guy, or whatever it is, and they all overcome and stuff like that. But they never like really catch them or arrest them. It's very Captain Planet in that way. And at the end of every episode, their villain of the week goes to the council, and we're like, we failed to do whatever we were trying to do. And then the League of Overexposed, they're like, don't worry, this is all a part of the plan.
That's really nurturing and encouraging.
Oh, it is. It's a good work environment. It's not hostile at all.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff is like you come back, you fail, and they just like evaporate you. But this is like feels like a nice, healthy work.
We'll segue to this in a bit, but even like we were watching some old episodes of Sailor Moon
I was
the other night, and friggin' like Queen Beryl, she brings the thunder. She's like, I'll put you in eternal sleep like Jedi. And then Zoocyte's like, put him into sleep. Put him into sleep. It's like, man, hostile work environment for the Negaverse.
I know, it's like they don't realize that you kind of need to nurture everybody. It's like the
Yeah,
one strike
it's
thing where
like-
she's mean to the generals and they're mean to their monsters, and then it just kind of carries
Yeah.
down. No one gets results. You'd think maybe we should have a like HR department.
Yeah, well, the Queen Bear's HR like doesn't intervene. Like they're too afraid. They need to like step it up a notch or something. But it's just like, also, you know, there's no counseling for like all your coworkers getting slaughtered by some teens in, you know, figure skater suits. But
Yeah,
beyond that,
be very
going back to
disturbing.
Young Justice, but it's kind of like every single resolution, no matter how foiled the plan is that the teens is like, yeah, they're trying to steal the undersea squid from Aquaman after he impregnated his wife. I'm just kind of taking things out of order, but the point is like they were guarding a squid, and then they're gonna take it, but then we stopped it, and then he goes to the thing and is like, I'm sorry, I failed to capture the squid, and Aquaman's happy and married and stuff, and they're like, good. They're like, the plan was to take the squid. It's like, but we failed entirely, just according to plan. I'm like, man, these guys have a bigger vision than even I see, because they know what's going
vision,
on.
or they're just really healthy kind of world outlook where it's like anything that happens is, yes, this is exactly what was supposed to happen. Even a failure you can learn from. So they're like, this is good, we're learning.
So the league of like positive reinforcement
Yeah.
is that who these guys are. Like I can't see what beef they have with the Young Justice at all. Anyway, oh no, we got
It's like
Carver.
the guy who runs the Villain League went to some kind of conference or retreat that just taught him positive outlook, so he's just trying to put it all into the villain trade, but it doesn't
Yeah.
quite
Friggin'
work.
League of Camp Trust Falls. Like I don't know what this is. Carver made my bed saying in the League of Blinding Lights. It is basically. Young Justice is beautiful. Too bad series made by Greg Wiseman is cursed, said Chris the host. That's just it. Well, as we all learned, kids, anything you enjoy on TV will be canceled. That's the way it goes. And the things you hate, they stay on forever.
Some crazy reasons.
It's just a backwards world. I don't know why. We also got Alright, sorry, let me try to do this. Constanza Taboda? I'll go with Taboda. Hi.
Hi.
Do you do this often? It's great. Greetings from Argentina.
Oh,
we
hello.
would supposedly do it often. We try to do it every single week, usually
We try to
Tuesdays
do it
or
every
Wednesdays.
Tuesday. Yeah, so sorry about yesterday, too. We did that thing where neither one of us is designated as the social media person, so I wasn't able to make the live show because of an art show I was going to, and then you were working, but I don't think
Yeah, I
we
was out
each
filming.
knew that the other didn't say we wouldn't do the show. So sorry.
We'll be more on the
The art
ball
show
next
was
time.
great. It was super fun.
Oh yeah, let's go. Well, let's final words of the Young Justice. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I haven't. No.
So what would you rate it with your impressions I've given you?
I like it. I'm excited to see where this Villain League goes.
Yeah, we're the League of the
I
Overexposed.
hope that they achieve their dreams and spread positivity.
Maybe we'll all learn. Psychonaut. Thank you, the League. Carmen Base Piper says, my first show was canceled. Good, all according to plan.
There you go,
Pretty
see?
much. These guys got an outlook.
You
Well,
just can't get upset when you have that outlook.
You're kind of like the guy who just tries to make everything that unintentionally happened look like it was part of the plan. Like, there's a birthday thing that's supposed to happen, and someone forgot the confetti. So instead, they threw popcorn. Everyone's like, "Oh, popcorn! That was a genius, fresh idea." Usually, it's just confetti, and you're like, "That was according to the plan."
And then it freeze frames on your ha.
Yeah, you just take credit for everything. So it's the league of is there a word for people who take credit where it's not due?
Maybe in other languages that have words for that stuff.
They don't have a word for that. Do they have
What
that?
was the one you learned? Was it temu? We learned the other day. Temu.
Oh yeah, temu means
Temu.
the late one. It's like Chinese. I'm not sure if it's
It's like the person that's always late or the person
late
that's
to
the
the
last one to
party,
show up.
or makes you guys drag.
But it's like instead of saying all that thing, there's this one word, and it's like that guy. It's the Temu.
Yeah, he's the temu, and I'm like, that's such a good word. We need more negative words to describe people's annoying traits.
It's like Schadenfreude or Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
It's such a good word. It's like it describes perfectly if you know what it is, because if you say that, no one knows what you're talking about.
Well, no, Schadenfreude isn't really something you can use as a verb or a description.
Everybody knows that, where it's like that awful feeling where it's like someone has some how do you even describe it?
Well, Schadenfreude would be the German word for like you gaining
Laughing at
satisfaction
someone
from other
else's
people's misfortune.
or satisfaction
Yeah.
from others' misfortune.
Be it failure, or it's kind of like that whole, people
It's
love.
like you're not supposed to enjoy that. But...
What people love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, kind of thing. So it's like anytime there's controversy with celebrities, we're like, yeah, take it. Make it so good, working so hard to get to where you are, and doing crazy hours.
That's what happened when you try.
Yeah, he tried, so and then to counter this Schadenfreude and bullshit, I read a quote recently, I forget who said it or whatever, but failure is a sign of trying.
It is.
Boom.
There's a quote I like, I forget who says it. It's Aristotle, Socrates, or Plato, or someone completely different. But it's if you want to avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing.
Yeah.
Because that way, no one's going to say anything mean to you because you're not putting yourself out there.
And that goes back to the thing I just said earlier about like the trolling and like creative.
Yeah, that was a really good clip because it was and I find that's a question people ask creators a lot, especially people who deal with that kind of stuff. Where it's like, how do you deal with that? Because I mean, we've all hit. The more you put out there, the more kind of negativity you get sometimes just by nature of being more visible. And it's like that weird thing of, oh, you should ignore the trolls, but then when you ignore them, they're not really. It just gets so out of proportion. But it's kind of like they're wasting their life. Yeah. Throwing hate around. So just. Well, you can fight it, which is if you can find a way to fight it, that's great. But if you the best thing I think is just to kind of like she said in the clip, pay it forward with kindness. Just try and be a better person, spread more goodness around, and don't take that anger and put it out on someone else.
Well, because the thought is, if you have this wicked, awesome rebuttal to take down a troll, in the end, what have either of you gained? You basically did what they were doing, but even better. So you've won this fight, but now this person's even more angry at you. You've made them even more defensive. You pushed them further into the cave. So it's either I'm not saying.
It's weird because it's they're jerks and you want to just punch the jerk, but it's
it's not going to fix it. It's going to make it worse. Unfortunately, this goes back to all those grade school lessons and after school special stuff. It's it's not going to improve the scenario to harm something that's lashing out at you, because it might.
It feels so good when you watch the person punch the bully. You're just like, yes, but then it's you gotta look back and see what's bothering this person. How can I help you versus how can I lash out back at you? And I don't know, it's so weird.
It's tricky, but and it's funny that came out just now too, because there was a talk. I believe GDC. I just saw a post about it recently on the Escapist. I forget who it is, but she's one of the community managers for League of Legends, and she uploads video stuff. And she gets she puts out videos each week, and she gets random criticisms of oh, you have so many tattoos, it's making you look ugly and stuff like that. And it's just none of this is even relevant stuff.
It has nothing to do with it. It's like nature being a woman commenter. They're gonna start attacking your looks because they think that's what's gonna hurt you the most.
Yeah, and it's just they're. Her main discussion is how to prepare yourself. You're going to a gunfight, you should know what a gun is. That's kind of. I didn't read the whole thing just yet. It was kind of right before this show. I was looking into it, but it's important stuff, and
and it's unfortunate. It's a weird kind of anxiety because I remember when I was publishing the Shrub Monkey webcomic more, I'd get hate every once in a while, and it would be this kind of you have to mentally prepare yourself when you went to go read the inbox of the comics. Okay, there's probably going to be a couple bombs in here, but there's going to be a lot of nice stuff. So. How do you kind of glance to
Yeah, you're squinting to see the first.
You do kind of squint. You're scrolling. You're nice thing, nice thing, nice thing. Terrible thing. Oh, my day is ruined.
Trying to filter it.
This person said a bad thing, and 100 people said a nice thing.
What's the thing? For every one negative, you need 10 positive to circumvent that or something.
And even still, some of the negative still sits there. So it's you try not to let it bug you, but behind closed doors, you talk to everyone God, this guy was such a jerk, but.
To go back to what we were talking about earlier, Carbon Base. Bybet's saying there's Johnny Come Lately for people who are always late.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Which is a nice reply.
I like Timu because it sounds like you can
Timu's quick. It also sounds like a character. It's oh, here comes little Timu. Late again, Timu. Nah. Meanwhile, it's hey, look, it's Johnny Come Lately. What the fuck?
Hey, what are you doing?
You got to be a greaser. You got to be Sandy.
And then you brush your hair back.
You gotta sing on top of your friend's car. It's crazy. All these things happen to you.
Point at the Johnny Come Lately.
Once you start talking, as he's walking by, you're all just there goes Johnny Come Lately. Be careful what you say, or else you might be in a 80s musical. Watch out.
Be careful.
You don't want to be caught in that. Chris also saying, watch as canceling the series turns into an elaborate plan to rule the world, which may possibly happen, because if you create enough angry fans... Actually, wait, didn't they say... No, it was an elaborate April Fool's thing about Firefly coming back. Yeah.
There was a funny quote I saw today on Tumblr. You probably saw it too, but it was like a Twitter from Alison Brie of Community, where it was like, I guess they're getting a movie made now or something.
6 seasons.
But it was like, yeah, all you need to make a movie is 6 seasons. Then Alan Tudyk, who plays Wash in Firefly, was like, or 7 episodes played at random order on Saturdays. Not even in proper order, these episodes.
Yeah, and they got a movie out of it. That's cute.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Tudyk. It was so great. Like, yeah, we talked about it, didn't we? Thrilling Adventure Hour we saw.
Did we? Yeah, we must have. That was because that was right after Emerald City, and that was so much fun.
Yeah.
The Thrilling Adventure Hour Night Vale crossover live show.
It was
so good.
If you guys, I think is C2E2 on right now, or do we just miss it? I think it just
last weekend.
I think they're doing a Thrilling Adventure Hour show there too. If you guys are in town for any con conventions, keep an eye out to see if Night Vale or Thrilling Adventure Hour will be doing a live show, and it's definitely worth going to. It's a lot of fun.
I know Cecil Baldwin. Is that the name of the actor or the character? I'm not sure. But he was posting about them doing erotic fan fiction of The Great Gatsby that he was going to be reading. Like a thing coming up. So I'm not sure where that is, but that sounded like it'd be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a treat. I'll check that out. We got
Speaking
Alicia.
of which, I was going to say that this weekend is the Harry Potter thing, right?
Yes, we'll have a list of things we'll go over yet.
Okay.
But definitely we'll talk about. Well, so quickly about fan fiction. Fan fiction, the show happens once a month in Toronto. It's where local Toronto comedians track down the most delightful of fan fictions out there, spanning ranges of taste and
ranges of usually a lot of porny.
And this theme for this week, coming up this weekend, is Harry Potter fan fiction of the show, which should be a treat.
We wrote a fan fiction. I mean, it was totally innocent and fun, but it was, remember the Pringles? And
yeah.
It was that Tom
very,
Riddle.
very timely.
So dumb.
I don't know if it would make any sense now if you read it. Well, no, a couple jokes. It was a very timely script, though. It was of its era. It was like a fine wine.
Very 90s.
Yeah. So check out Fan Fiction of the show in Toronto. There might not be any tickets left, but we've been to a bunch of them. We've been to Star Trek. We've been to Sailor Moon. We've been to Batman and Scott Pilgrim and stuff. It's all been fun times. So you want to stop by if you can. Yeah. Alicia Shanahanigans saying, now I want to create a super positive villain who says, yes, all according to plan. We can learn from this every time they lose.
Good job, everyone. What's important is you tried.
Yeah, it's like, well, failure is a sign of trying.
Failure is not a stumbling block, it's a stepping stone.
You know what? Let's just go straight into Sailor Moon for a second. Okay. Holy balls, rewatching it is interesting. I never really noticed it before, but like, you know, when with all this Madoka magic stuff and like contract and things, you think that's grim and dark and like, oh, they're taking Magical Girl and making it dark. Oh my god. Do you realize Luna sends Serena out to kill every single night?
But I think that's why like someone watching that would have been coming up with, like, I don't know who's behind that Magical Girls Madoki. I'm sorry, I can't even. I don't know how to say that title, but it's like it's a very cynical look at the Magical Girls, where it's like, yeah. It's making Luna like, what were you saying? It was like 100 bullets or something.
Well, yeah,
she's like, here's a bullet.
There's the comic, the 100 Bullets, where a guy just shows up with a briefcase with evidence, being like, this is the guy who killed your wife or something like that, or whatever it is. And here's a gun, and here's 100 bullets. Now do whatever you want. You know, it's basically like Luna's doing that every night because it's just like, Sailor Moon, get her, kill her, get her. Like, jeez! Like, she made a clean getaway. We saved all the people's energy, and now whoever, the hairdryer demoness or whatever she's themed on this week, is just making a getaway. And she's like, hunt her down, Usagi! I want her head! Like, holy Luna!
I think we're also reading more into it, though.
I want blood! The tiara demands blood, or the demons will be released! It needs a sacrifice! Oh my god.
I gotta say though, like watching those old DVDs, like I mean, we came at it from the American version, so the version that was super colored and the sound was really clear. But it's like everything sounds like it's been recorded inside a washing machine. It's
Yeah.
so
Well, we're watching
foggy.
the old ADV release that they re-released like up to Super S maybe I think I'm not sure, but it was all the subtitles a good couple of years back, could be 10 years by now.
Yeah.
But this is like all the episodes
Yeah.
unedited, like the way
And that said, it's great to finally watch all the banned stuff, or like the weird things that were edited strange, and you watching it as a kid, you're like, that's weird, and then watching it now, it's like, oh, they cut it out because it's risque.
Yeah. Well, even like the episodes they removed entirely, there's nothing entirely wrong with them, but it's like I guess they didn't have the same formula of villain shows up, this happens, that happens, magic, the end. It was like a whole other story, no Negaverse at all. That was the beach one. Which the premise, well, maybe the problem was the dad character is like forcing his daughter to do like possession demon stuff, and it's like weird.
Yeah, it's creepy.
So maybe that was just
I
unsettling.
think also
to
too,
TV.
it's like there's no other episodes that have magic outside of the girls and the monsters. So if you have other people, because there was another episode about a fortune teller that never got shown. So maybe it's like anybody else with magical powers is like, oh well, are they a Sailor Scout? It's like, and you can, like, no, that old man
When
is
everybody's special, no one is.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Love Incredibles.
But like, yeah, it's just interesting watching it with this like, my what am I? I'm not skeptic. I'm
Cynical.
cynical. Thank you. With my new cynical, jaded lens. Like back then, it's like, go get him, Sailor Moon. Yeah, and be sure to do your homework. Nowadays, I'm like, Jesus. It's like the implications. Because like my
she's
favorite.
14. Why is she at 10 o'clock? Where are her parents?
My favorite was we were watching the episode with the anime studio that was making Sailor V. Like, they're making the Sailor V the series, and there's this artist, these two artist friends who came from high school, and they bought these expensive pencils, and they swore to each other they'd only use it, and blah blah blah. It's cute in friendship. Now, all that aside, the villains of the episode were spawned from the evil pencil. And they're like the friendship villains, like they're kind of like in Evangelion, how there's those two angels. They're so in sync.
Friendship angels.
You have to be in sync to fight them or something like that. But none of that here really, because like the only thing was like one of them can do Ray's fire move, the other can do Amy's bubbles. I'm like, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
You'll go far. You'll go places. And then they get in a fight with each other, these two bad guys. And they're like, we're no longer best friends doing magic anymore. And then Luna jumps in. She's like, their friendship's over. Kill them. They're weak! Like, look, give them a chance to reconcile. Isn't there a lesson in this? Shouldn't they be like it?
Not if you're a bad guy.
No?
No.
Yeah,
Only death.
It's brutes.
Death to the enemy.
Only death will shoot them! Usagi, you know what you must do!
Hands are the knife.
Basically, yeah, it's just near to that. Oh my god. So this new Sailor Moon coming out, I hope it touches on these issues. These
I'm curious. I remember seeing the character designs, and I was like, oh, okay. I will, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty, so I'm interested in seeing how...
Well, like, a lot of people were saying it looks like the cover art of the old comics. Like,
yeah.
It's very sparkly, it's very... almost stoic. Like all their faces are very.
Like, I'm not reading a lot of emotion, which I'm kind of worried about because when again, Tumblr is how I see everything. But you see like just crazy expressions and funny things. I'm like, I hope there's humor in the new series. But if they want to go the stoic, serious, pretty sparkly route, I guess that's okay because I had my Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Generation can have their Sailor Moon, but I was like, but humor. I like that's what I need in a series to. I mean, not always. Like I don't watch Game of Thrones for the chuckles, but
well, it is damn funny though.
There's some funny stuff.
But like to preface that, like I do want to put out there, if Sailor Moon is like different from the one we saw, good. Like it may as well be different. It's been how many years? It's going to be updated. Redo the art. Good. Go for it. Go nuts.
I mean, if you want to pull an Evangelion and just redo everything and add a character with glasses, like that's cool too.
Like, there's that. But so like Sailor Moon being completely different right now, like I'm all for it. Go nuts. I'm curious to see what they try to do. That being said, on my observations, it's like even looking at their character charts. Their range of emotions right now are all very like
gentle,
when,
very kind of yeah.
Oh no, and it's like it's so like it doesn't have the manic nature. So but tonally I don't even know if the anime was much like the original comic. I never really read too much of it, but it's you know there was wacky stuff
More
in the comic.
sparkly. Oh, like segueing from that, if you do want to watch crazy, wacky, weird Sailor Moon, the Moon Animate Makeup, is that what it's called? It's a project.
Is it Moonamates or
Moonimate, where a bunch of animators have come together and they've taken an episode and they've all taken scenes of it and they're animating it in their own style. And there's some really crazy, wacky, funny animation in there. I met the girl who runs it back at Emerald City. She came by the table and I was like, oh my god, I love that! It's so fun. And like I think it's gonna be done soon. But like it was reviewed in I think a Japanese magazine, and they're calling it Our Anime is what the word is, like, or sorry, not Our Anime, Our Sailor Moon is what the title of it is in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Because it's but yeah, it's looking really fun, so I'm looking forward to that. I just like fun fan stuff. It keeps the spirit and the joy.
Do you know when it's actually being released, or?
I guess it just depends on when everybody finishes their sequences.
Yeah.
Because it's all just stuff people are doing for fun on the side.
It's looking good. Like, I'm excited to see it. Like,
it's looking so funny. Like some of the scenes are so good.
Like I'm more curious to see how everything's just going to like edit into each other, because the art styles are all just completely different. I'm seeing some fun stuff on Tumblr where they show the original and their version, and it's just like the faces are way more just like over the top.
There's this one funny sequence I really liked where it was the premise of this episode is there's a photographer following them around. I don't really remember it too much, but there's one scene where she ambushes the scouts and starts taking pictures of them. They're like, oh, hey, like, stop that. And they're just, like, shielding themselves from the flashes. And in the original, they're just kind of like, stop that. But in the new version, whoever's animated it has it. The girls are like, stop that, but Venus is striking a pose every time there's a shot. And it's just so cute. Yeah. It's so ridiculous. But it's stuff like that, like little touches. But I am curious to see how it all runs together. As one big project.
Chris, though, saying, and now I'm picturing Luna as a bloodthirsty maniac, as she is. Yeah, I'm not even making this up. Watch the show. It's one of those.
I think we are adding a bit of our own.
Our own version. Probably like there's the magical girl stuff will probably kind of come crashing back with all this. Like there'll be some more things people coming up with once Sailor Moon returns. It'll also be some people's first time seeing Sailor Moon. So it's going to be a whole interesting new generation of people into. I'm not sure how the distribution is going to be. It might just be like one of those things where it's on Crunchyroll. I doubt it'd be on TV. I get the feeling like I don't even know if there's much anime on TV right now. Anyway, like they're kind of. I don't know if they're still in that phase because. Like the last I knew of it was kind of like Death Note was on TV.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there really after Death Note how much else really was being put on the like YTV or on the mainstream. Because like all these other kind of Adult Swim type shows were kind of picking up more. I don't know. I know nothing anymore. Benjamin Boston asking, has there been an idea that you put down but keeps coming back?
Like a story or like a comic?
Clarification, Benjamin Boston, is required. Because I'm not sure what the idea is keep going, unless it's like... I
mean, like, I have one of those epic fantasy stories I've been writing since I was 14 that I touch, like, maybe once every 12 months. But it's like everybody's... what is that? Your oeuvre? Your egg?
Well, like, there's definitely stuff that I've just never let go. Like, there's kind of like 3 or 4... main series I've been plotting since like high school that I'm like I swear to myself someday I'm gonna do. I have no idea when. But as far as like just a general, I'm not sure if like a general idea just keeps like coming after me, being like, oh, I have to use it now. Like I'm not sure.
Actually, that just reminded me of something. Like it's kind of I don't know if it's a proper segue, but I was listening to a lot of the Nerdist podcast with Chris Hardwick today, and they had one interview with it's the 20th anniversary of Hellboy, so they were interviewing Mike Mignola about the book and working on the movies and stuff like that, and he was saying working with Guillermo, like I actually haven't seen the Hellboy movies, but I like the way he described this, where Guillermo del Toro kind of brought a lot of his own stuff into the movie that made it a bit more unique and fleshed out versus doing like a straight adaptation. Because there were certain scenes where it was like from screenplays that he wasn't able to use in other movies. He was like, I really just want this scene in this movie. So he would bring, kind of like when you have all your little ideas and it's like a project dissolves, but you're still able to take those ideas and, I can put that scene here with these characters. I don't have to totally throw it all out. Which I thought was nice to hear.
They're worth checking out. The first movie is definitely an adaptation. in comparison, because I think the second movie was a more original idea. The first one is kind of like is the origin story. It has a lot of like the characters like this sand assassin dude or whatever he is, and Rasputin and things like that. But the second one I actually enjoyed a lot more. I felt like it definitely has more of Guillermo in it, especially after Pan's Labyrinth. It has more of that Pan design to it. Yeah, so but they're both definitely worth checking out. They're interesting movies, and they're kind of like they kind of came out in that weird time where the Marvel initiative hasn't really happened yet. So it's kind of like superhero movies are kind of just here and there. Like the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans and the Blade movie would come out every now and then.
What was interesting was Del Toro, I think, directed the Blade movie, or the second one. And he did it to prove that he could do Hellboy, because before that he'd done, I think, smaller movies, like smaller horror movies, but he hadn't done like a big, superhero action movie. And so that was his, look, Hollywood, I can do this with Blade 2, and then they gave him Hellboy.
Yeah. No,
it's an interesting read, or it's an interesting listen. There's a lot of really good podcasts on the Nerdist, but the Mignola one I really liked.
Yeah, no, I started listening. I think I started with like the Felicia Day one when they were talking about. She was talking about the milk in your cereal and how gross that is. And like just through this, like, because it's basically the idea is milk that a lot of us as kids like, ooh, it tastes like the sugariest part of the cereal. But she referenced it like it's backwash and stuff like that.
And it's gross because it's like I'll have a bowl of cereal now and I'll have tea, and then it's like I'm like, oh, there's some milk in the bottom of the bowl. I should just put this in the tea, but there's a voice that stops me from
but then like when
totally losing control.
When they brought up that they were selling like Lucky Charms milk now, you can buy it, and she's just like, oh, like now you're making me gross out. Why am I listening to this? The other thing I love that they talked about.
You would think that's delicious. You're like,
I would, but just the way she was like expressing how she reacts to it made me be like, it doesn't sound too good after all. I'd be all up for it. But the other thing I liked they were talking about was how, at conventions and stuff, people give you gifts and things, and like a lot of times you'll get like T-shirts, which is perfectly fine. But they said what isn't is when people give you pants. Because for some reason there's a difference, because it's like they're trying to tell you something.
What's wrong with the pants I have?
Yeah, versus a T-shirt. It's like, interesting. So that's something.
Pants is weird because a T-shirt you can just give someone a T-shirt size. A pant size, it's like it's either too big or if they know your exact size, it's like
too personal. Yeah. It's like I've got the seam length and everything down.
Yeah.
Based on photos I studied.
That is weird. Yeah.
I did measurement assessments based on what was in the scenery. So that's that. Actually, yeah, so we briefly touched upon it, but there was a gallery thing you went to yesterday, correct? And that's why we didn't have a show last night.
So anybody going through Toronto Pearson Airport within the next couple months, this show is going until September, I believe, but it's called Black, White, and Red All Over, as in reading, red all over. And I was approached by a couple University of Toronto students that they were putting together an art show as their thesis project. To showcase Canadian comics, kind of in relation to they're like kind of a side part of TCAF. Like this is something they did on their own, and then they're connected with TCAF because it's the Toronto Comic Arts Festival. And I was brought out to. They were looking at me to possibly do a mural for it. They went with another guy to do the mural, but the mural is fantastic. It's like a. I put pictures on my blog, so you can look at it, katieshai.com. But it's everything is. It's how do I describe it? I'm kind of all over the place with the things, but it's like little showcases of Canadian comic history. So you have Joe Shuster with Superman, and you have Nelvana as well, the Northern Lights, so some of the classic Canadian comics. And then it's like web comics. You have Kate Beaton's Hark a Vagrant, and a bunch of different ones, and then zines and sequential art, and then so there's different cases with all these, and then there's a wall where they have their featured artists, and so they brought me on as one of 5 featured artists, which was a real honor. They had me up there with like Michael DeForge, whose work I really like, Lynn Johnston of For Better For Worse.
Oh my god, really?
That's amazing.
There's going to be a Kate Beaton, Lynn, and
on Friday.
Talk.
Yeah, Friday.
Like, that's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really great show. It's in the Terminal 1, so it's Canadian arrivals and domestic flights. So anybody flying in should totally check it out.
To see this show, you have to leave the country and come back.
Or take like an hour to get there. Because like I was telling you this earlier, I was going out and it was like a small event. It wasn't like a giant party, but it was like, you could bring one other person, and Jerry was still at work, so I was like, I'm just gonna go to the gallery myself, and I got myself dressed up. I was waiting for the bus. Then I was like, I don't want to travel for an hour. Why don't I have my license? And so I started trudging home all depressed, and then I texted Jerry just like, I want to go check this out, but like it's so far away. And so he ended up leaving work early to go with me to check it out, and I'm glad he came. It was really good.
Cool. And you have those pictures up so you can check that out. And
yeah, so they're all, it's called Black, White, and Red All Over. And I have pictures on my Tumblr, katieshy.tumblr, and blog. And it's got some great stuff. Like it's got pictures of Seth, who's like a really prominent Canadian cartoonist. It's got his workshop, photos of his workshop, which is really cool to look at. And yeah, it's just fun. If you like comics, if you like comic history, and if you like just finding new artists or seeing our stuff up, it's really fun. Just
there's a Silly Kingdom on
really
display,
great.
isn't there?
Yeah, they did great work with putting it all together.
Yeah. Imagine that, like people knew this country would be like, oh, Silly Kingdom, I see.
What is this?
Yeah. Imagine.
Why? When is it updating?
Why isn't there more shrub buggies? Where's Silly Pond?
I know.
Or whatever it's called.
I know. Well, there was something funny I think I mentioned at Emerald City Comic Con. A girl came up to me and was like, I grew up on your comics. And I was like, how did you grow up on my comics? I haven't been making them very long. Like, and then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, there's no way you grew up on my comics.
Well, if you're coming in for TCAF, which is next
weekend.
If you're flying in, take yourself a picture with the display cases, and you win. There you go.
You just win.
You win. I'll tell you, you win personally. Take a picture, shaking your hand. It'll be great. I can't promise any other details beyond that. We got Benjamin Boston replying to the clarification requests of the earlier comments.
Mm-hmm.
I think you filled in the clarification quite well. I've been scared to create a full comic/board with a few of my ideas because they seemed great at the time, late hour, but sounds terrible and distasteful the next day.
Distasteful?
Interesting. It really bites my commitment.
Yeah, I don't know. I find if I don't like it the next day, I kind of scrap it. It's something I kind of, but I mean, you might be able to work more at it, but sometimes like I won't even write ideas down, and if the same idea keeps coming back to me, I'm like, yeah, that's not bad. I should do that.
Yeah. My problem is if I don't write it down right then and there, it will erase forever.
You'll forget it. Yeah.
Like, for example, just for the show, I had 2 ideas. I didn't write either down. And as soon as I remember the first one, the other one got pushed even further away.
Yeah. Well, I'm like that with dreams, where I have a dream and I wake up and I'm like, this is the best idea for a story ever. And then as you start to wake up, you're like, oh, no, that's awful. And like, I just don't even bother writing it down. I'm like, this is a derivative of that, is a derivative of that, is a derivative of that. But I mean, I think it's important. I think you should write it all down, especially as a writer, because you could come back to it later and read like a little quote you wrote, and that could spawn something else. So
yeah.
It doesn't hurt to write it down.
I used to have like carry notepads with me all the time, and I was just like, but the problem was I wouldn't be able to read them afterwards. But what they would do is I would remember where I was when I wrote it, and then I'd remember what I wrote at the time.
Yeah, for me it's music, because I have a lot of music for comic ideas I want to write. Like I don't have writing. I picture sequences. When I'm working, I mean, that's probably the same way you write, though. You're picturing sequences. Like, I picture, like, a movie in my head where I'm watching something happen. I don't write it down. I might sketch out some thumbnails of shot angles, but it's usually to music, and if I listen to that music again, I can get back into the sequence.
Oh, okay, it's like a memory jog. So you have to, like, recreate the scene. Like, you have to be standing, you have to smell the hot dog cart.
Yeah.
This guy walks by, like that's something about a show last night, which will trigger... well, that's usually how I remember things later that I forgot. Like later that day, someone will say something that happened, like say a word that I heard near the time when I thought of it. I'm like, oh, and it all comes rushing back to me. Like, you remember at the end of Tangled when it's like, no, more like Tangled when it's like, what was it? She saw the sun and it's like, and I'm like, oh! I am the princess!
I don't remember that sequence. I've only seen that movie once.
That's when she realizes, no spoils, but yes, spoils, when she realizes she was the princess.
Spoils.
And it's like that twisty shot from above, and she's turning in and goes...
Oh,
That's why she was painting all those suns.
Yeah.
It's so good. don't care what anyone says.
I really like it. I've only seen it once.
And as I tell everyone, I cry like 3 times at Tangled, and that's 3 times more than at Frozen. So take
We
that.
watched Lilo and Stitch the other day, and I was only going to sit with you guys for a couple minutes, but I stayed through the whole thing. I think I wept like 5 times through that movie. I was like,
Oh my God, Lilo and
he's lost. He just needs a family.
Well, like, yeah, like, all right, so the preface, I bought Lilo and Stitch recently on Blu-ray because I hadn't seen it in so long. I may have only seen it like once or twice in my life, like theaters and VHS, and then I just never saw it again. And when you're a kid, you rewatch a lot of Disney movies, but the older you get, you never really get a chance to rewatch them as often. And I'm like, you know what? I'm seeing all these tumble posts of Lilo and Stitch. I should rewatch that, see if it holds up and stuff. And damn, it does. It holds up. It's funny. It's sad. It's heartwarming. It's heavy. It's a lot of things. It's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it or if you never saw it, I thoroughly recommend Lilo and Stitch. It's as far as like a Disney original. That's not. It's based on the like Chris Sanders, like his original work. So it's not based on like a book or based on a fairy tale or an adaptation of something. It's just fantastic. And it's also mind-boggling that it happened at all. When you look at all the safe decisions that happen a lot with movies for kids, this is like so out there, And you're just like, how did this even get made? Like, it's not based on nothing. There is romance in it, but it's not a main part of the plot. It's not really like romance per se. There's kind of like just. It's
like relations.
Yeah, relations. Like it's about just like and it's not even like a boy and his dog kind of movie. It's not like those pet movies. It's a different kind of movie.
It's a sister's story and a belonging story.
And it's fantastic, and it's just it was definitely worth getting and watching again. Now, of course, it was comboed with Lilo and Stitch 2.
Did you watch the second one?
I haven't yet. I don't know if I should.
I don't know. I'm worried about that. I worry that stuff's gonna ruin the stuff I loved about the first ones, like the Little Mermaid sequels, where I was like, ugh.
Where I'm Ursula's sister. I'm like, well, I understand the need for revenge. But, really? The whole family got to go down? Jeez.
Yeah, I'm her second cousin!
Yeah. I don't know. That was a trend of the direct VHS. Well, that's just the thing. Like, I wonder who's assigned to write these, like, direct-to-VHS. Is it like a testing ground thing? It's like, oh, you want to write for Disney feature? You better make one of these straight-to-VHSs.
Maybe.
Yeah. Guess who's the bad guy? Not too far from the tree. It's your sister. You're like, ah, shit.
I like that pitch.
And number 2, you reverse it. She has a daughter who wants to go to the water. What's this? Lady and the Tramp 2? Well, the girl's the tramp and the guy's the lady. Okay, and now
really?
What's this? Lion King 2.5? Well, the guy is good. And the reverse.
I hope this is just one person having this idea.
His own meeting and no one's in the room.
And they just cut wide and there's all these chairs and nobody's in them.
And this is how Disney direct-to-VHS videos are made. It's just like some Yahoo who's like, flip the tables, why don't we? It's the easy way to do it. What's this, cars? This time they drive backwards. There. New video.
Done.
They just reverse the plot.
Yep.
We got Chris, though, saying, Disney sequels don't exist. This is the law of the universe. Unless you're talking about Aladdin 3, his dad's hot.
I really like the Aladdin stuff.
I don't know if that was the subtitle. It was called Damn Aladdin's Dad.
Damn! It's a fine papa.
Was it the voice of John Rhys Davies?
Yeah, it was yeah.
Like the songs are completely horrible. And it's tragic that they thought they had to add them, but the story's pretty decent.
Yeah, his father's the thief.
I'm going to get married, and I'm still dressed like a pauper. Yeah. Where's my dad?
His dad's like Alibaba, or the leader of the 40 Thieves, or something like that.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah,
good.
There you go.
You tie it all together. His mom's Scheherazade. Why not?
I don't know. It's weird, but like do they still happen so often? Like I know like one of the last ones was like the Cinderella 3 with.
And I heard that was actually really good.
And there's like some weird humor in it apparently.
Yeah. It's like the prince throws himself out a window to like get around his dad blocking the stairs.
Yeah, it's like got some like surreal weird jokes, and it's just like that's interesting.
I think it had really good character development because people are talking about it really humanizing one of the sisters and making her an interesting character and not just a villain.
Well, supposedly that's what like a lot of the other versions did. Only one of the sisters was really mean, and the other was kind of like had no choice. You know, it's
Yeah,
kind of
like
like that very schoolyard thing.
Ella what was that one with Drew Barrymore? One was nice, and then the other one was like total
Yeah.
jerk.
But I think that happens in a lot of the renditions lately, where it's like they kind of make
Soften
the
it.
mom and one of the daughters like two of a pair, and the other one's kind of like, well, I don't want to be picked on, so that's another
You're
form of
I'm just kidding. Tear that dress. I'm sorry.
I did not want to do this.
We're still friends, right?
I'll have to go along the seams. You can repair it. Just unbutton it a little. You can fix it.
Oh, you're awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, I feel almost like nowadays with this, like, you know, there's a lot of talk, you know, especially in regards to you know, men standing up, like not letting other guys be jerks, basically. So I feel like that Cinderella story, they should push more on that, where the other sister has got to like step it up at some point and be
But
like,
then there
cut
wouldn't
this
be a
shit
problem
out.
if the other sister was like, you two, frig this, we're moving out. And like, it's the story about Cinderella and the cool sister living in town.
Yeah, and they like rent apartments.
Story.
In an apartment near the castle, and they get baguettes, and the prince is like, who's that baguette girl? As opposed to like, who's the girl in the fireplace?
Did she clean my fireplace?
And now we got a whole
She's
different
doing a good
story.
job.
Yeah, you know. Why not?
Bring me some baguettes.
That'd be a good tale.
I like that.
That's my reimagining of Cinderella.
good.
Modernization. Let's see. We got Christos saying Cinderella 3 was different in terms of sequels. Everyone had a character. Cinderella actually worked for her happy ending. Prince actually has a personality, and they recognize silly stuff from the first movie. That's kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like, you know, it'd be tongue-in-cheek rebuttal of, you know, why did we do this again? And it's like, well,
the mice told you, did they?
there's like no mice in the later ones. It's just like, yeesh. We got Alicia. Say Lilo and Stitch was the first movie I ever got excited about as a kid. I remember waiting months before it came out, which was a big deal when you're a kid. It will always have a super special place in my
I remember when the VHSs came out, there would always be the trailer for the next Disney movie at the beginning, and you'd be like, what is it?
Yeah.
I don't, because there's no internet, there's internet, but we're not on it, so there's no spoilers. I mean, we're not reading the magazines, so you don't know what's coming up, and then it's like, oh my gosh, what's the new movie? What is this Aladdin thing? Oh my gosh, and you'd just be so excited, you'd watch it again and again. And then you'd want to watch it again, but you'd have to watch the movie. It's like, no, we're going to watch the movie now. It's like, no, let's go back, I want to watch the trailer.
Well, like the one I always remember was like, of the Holy Four, it was like, Disney took you under the sea, you know, it enchanted the beast and brought you a whole new world with Aladdin, and it goes black, and it's like, nah, I'm like, what is this movie? It's so widescreen, the animals,
Look at that composition.
This is a bird, and it's just Lion King, you're like, wah!
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Nowadays, you go to an IMAX screen of a Batman movie or something, and they'll be like, now here's a 5-minute clip that will kind of ruin it for you when you see it eventually.
Yeah, here's all the best scenes.
You know, I don't know, like, that's kind of the trend right now, is to, like, release the clip, and everyone gets all excited because they go to movies they wouldn't see otherwise just to see this clip. But, like, the problem is it's legitimately a clip from the film. So once you see it in theaters, it's like, oh, this is this scene.
It's like, I don't know, now it's kind of like the age of like the art of trailers, where it's like, I friggin' really enjoyed 300 trailer. The movie was alright, but I could have just watched the trailer and been happy.
Well, like when
that
I
was a
think
good
back
trailer.
to it, all I remember is the trailer.
Yeah.
All the best scenes were like there anyway. It's like they blacked out the sky. There's a Zack Snyder run and kick and stuff, and there's, you know, Sparta, and I'm like, alright, it's good. I didn't see the new one. Apparently, people said it was alright. It's like 301 Spartans.
Yeah.
Before there were 300.
There were 300 more.
Yeah. Well, that was like that Lilo and Stitch sequel where it's like, but what happened to experiments 625? I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Because if they're all stitches, then there wouldn't be a point. Like, they're like, there's basically 325 stitches out there. So it's like, why were they any more or less failure than him?
He said he would never make more than one.
Yeah, like 626, it doesn't mean there was a bajillion cute creatures.
It does to merchandise and marketing.
Yeah.
Does to marketing.
There's nothing wrong with it. You know, make your stitches.
Yeah.
It's like Disney basically missed out on their chance to have their own Pokemon. basically. They could have had Stitches all over the place. Every
Yeah.
kind. Fire Stitch, Ice Stitch.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. They already
All right,
marketed
now
it.
I want to watch the sequel.
Yeah, no. What, you do?
What? No.
What could the plot possibly be? Like, I've not read the synopsis. Let's be creative, folks. Those who haven't seen the Lilo and Stitch sequel, let's think. How can one continue the tale and add importance to it? Is it about Nana and her relations? Is it about Stitch now adjusting to more
Nani?
domestic life? Or Nana? I don't know what her name is.
Nani?
Like that's where it comes from. It's like what would you do next? You know, all right, let's there already is a sequel. Let's try again. What's a Disney movie that doesn't have a sequel?
Mulan? No.
It does. Sorry.
Treasure Island Planet.
Okay. Funny you say that though. Actually, Treasure. No, it was Atlantis was supposed to be a trilogy supposedly,
Oh yeah.
or maybe not trilogy, but at least have a lot more going for it. Okay, so Treasure Planet. Sequel. So the Treasure Planet, in the end, I think it ended and stuff. And now the kid has a father figure, and the dog guy has the minx lady.
The minx lady.
Isn't that what she is? She's like a lynx or a minx or what? Is it called lynx or minx?
It's a lynx.
Lynx. Sorry.
A minx is like a lady who's all like, hey.
Lynx lady. So I don't know what
she's serious.
Yes, but she was cool.
Not that there's anything wrong
His
with
mom has a restaurant. What's our sequel? Let's throw out some conflicts.
Planet blows up.
The restaurant is going to be it got a bad food rating because
So they need John Silver to go get a bunch of pirates.
Yeah.
To take out the competition.
Yeah. This is like where you go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's always a story. As someone once said, every story is a
story,
but it might not be that good. I forget what.
It was really profound when I heard it.
Well, I was watching a bit of that, like One Night in Paris. The movie with what's his face.
Where he goes back in time.
I'm back in time. Oh.
Owen Wilson.
Yes,
or
Owen Wilson.
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson, and he meets funny enough Tom Hiddleston as the guy who wrote Gatsby.
Oh yeah.
And to push the point, he always says "old sport," which is cute.
Old sport.
He's like, well, old sport, And it's so cute because we all know Tom Hiddleston's British, but he's like doing this southern kind of thing or this other accent, and it's great. But they meet not just him, but another guy, the author dude, who writes things.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of them. They meet like
Hemingway. Thank you.
Hemingway, yeah.
So they meet Hemingway. And Owen Wilson's like, I wrote this book, and I want you to read it. And he's like, it's crap. He's like, but you didn't read it, kind of thing. And he's like, look, kid, I'm gonna tell you straight. Either it's gonna be so good, either it's gonna be so bad that I hate it, or so good that I'm jealous and I hate it. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that's kind of. It's like that's why I don't read other people's stuff, because I'm either gonna hate it because it's awful or hate it because I'm jealous because it's so good.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like that's kind of neat. That's the end of my story. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. Speaking of Tom Hiddleston, I guess you're not allowed to say anything about certain things.
I'll just say I was an extra in a movie, and I looked delightful.
I can't wait. We gotta go see that all together. You're gonna be famous.
I'm gonna be a star. Name and lights.
Let's just say certain things are being filmed in Toronto, and a certain person got to be in a certain scene with a certain actor.
Yeah, for a certain.
But I'm not saying nothing. Yeah. But that was the best story when you told us. I was like, what?
It's such a good story, and none of you will ever hear it. Okay.
Yeah, because
I've signed certain things that would put me in a certain amount of trouble. But the segue of that, well, no, I don't want to talk about that stuff. There's like a lot of like this last week is probably one of the most surreal and strange weeks.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Because I've
just been kind of indoors working on stuff, and it seems like life has been happening to you in abundance.
Yeah, in the matter of 3 days, so many strange and wondrous things have occurred, and here I am at home now with time to play video games. Let me just leave it at that.
Uh-huh.
And if any of you have job prospects, throw them my way. Interesting week.
It is interesting.
Yeah. But that being said, actually, I do have some voice work coming up, I think, on a Thursday.
Voice work?
I can't really divulge anything else about the project because I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Oh.
I got some voice stuff coming up, and I want to get my writing out there. I want to start sending out packages and be like, "Hey, buddy, I can write a comic book too."
I hope that's your cover letter.
Hey, buddy.
You haven't made a third, buddy.
In the middle, hey, buddy, I can write. Use a book, you know what I'm saying?
Let me write for
Just
you.
give me a chance. Dear Boom.
Hey, buddy, boob.
Hey, buddy, Boom.
Let me write for you.
We got Chris, the host, saying, Stitch, going back to Lilo and Stitch, has to save local community center from business executives to keep the kids off the street so they can keep dancing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that applies to all the themes. Yeah, or like maybe like it's like the president of Hawaii is like, Stitch, tourism's down.
Yeah.
We need ideas.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's great.
That works.
Lilo and Stitch 3 promo campaign for Hawaii. I don't know. I don't know nothing. All this after I'm like, hey, I want to write for you. It's like, do you have ideas for Lilo and Stitch 3? Hell no, I got nothing. Oh man, you know. Well, that's just that. You know, that's one of the things that's always like in TV. To prove that you can write a script for a show, you have to write a script for another show to be like, just do an episode of The West Wing, like just to show you can write TV. You know.
Yeah, sure you
And
can.
it's like this week, this happened.
On the West Wing.
Yeah, which I would be a poor fit for because I never watched it.
Yeah, but you could do some research and then.
No.
No.
It's boring. I only write dumb, silly things. That's the thing that honestly
Your
the
strengths.
thing that inspires me most is when I see crappy things out there because I'm like, I can at least do
That
that.
shouldn't inspire you. You shouldn't make,
Like,
you've
that
said this
made
a
it to
lot,
the
but that
screen.
shouldn't be your benchmark. You're like, that piece of crap got made. Why can't I?
I can do that.
That's not.
That will be me.
No, you shouldn't. That shouldn't be what you
And
should.
I'm not even doing that as like a degrading thing. That's pure honesty. I'm like, what? All the possibilities. I can actually make it. If that could make it. Well, that's true. It's inspiring.
You have to have higher goals because then you'll aim for this and then you might hit this. But if
You're
you aim
like-
for this.
From what we talked about today, it's like if good TV shows just get canceled all the time, then if I write a bad TV show,
Why would you want to write a bad TV show?
so I can stay on the air, apparently.
No, but what's more important, like being on the air or making something good and memorable? You shouldn't really take that long to answer that question.
Memorable, of course. I don't know.
Artist.
Yes, writer, whatever. You know, that thing.
Mhm.
Inspiration. It's all good. It's all good. We'll see. But yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff coming up. Always a good time. We won't talk. There's really not much to say about Game of Thrones. If you're not on it, you're not on it.
Yeah, we know people are like, spoilers, so.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. We talk about fan fiction, the show. New Kickstarter just opened for Batman and Spider-Man.
Batman Spider-Man!
I believe the final episode is it? They said, I think maybe.
Yeah, the last episode.
So if you want to help out the Smalls,
Buteras.
get yourself over to the Kickstarter and help them out with it's all like last checking, it was our 30%.
Oh, that's great.
accomplished. Probably more by now.
I hope they get it all within like the first day. That'd be so good.
It seems to be the trend. It seems to be the goal is
They do
100%
really good
in one
work,
day.
so like they deserve all the.
Yeah. Well, they also worked on like the Dick Figures movie and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they made some. They did an animated short for something else, like a fantasy thing. It was really fun. So good. So many
what
good
was
people.
Wasn't that called? It was like RPG-ish or something like that.
It was part of a game. Yeah. RPG story or something.
I definitely am behind on that kind of stuff though. Like I kind of just like missed the Batman Spider-Man. I watched a couple of them, but I never like blasted through. And the same with the Dick Figures. So like this is now that I have time, I should probably like do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also catching up on other things. I'm finally catching up on some Steven Universe. If you haven't watched Steven Universe yet, and you are in any way of enthusiast of animation and funny, watch Steven Universe. It is fantastic for many reasons. Man, like I just watched the episode where he got like the hamburger backpack, and if you know me, like I love me some hamburger themed anything. But I just while watching it, I just so happened to be wearing my hamburger socks.
Oh, what? I didn't even know you had hamburgers.
Yeah, and I like pulled them back, I was like boom, you know, not that high. I wasn't like whoa.
Those are
That would be
socks.
very minx of me, I guess, to do
Minx
something like that. How minxy of him. But no, it was just a coincidence. But it's just like the show is like ridiculously charming and silly, but not like it's not too frantic and over top. It's still kind of grounded, which is nice. It's not just zany, but it's just got the right sense of humor. And so I'm just like, man, why am I so behind in this stuff? I should be on top of. But the good thing, the good thing about being behind the series means there's episodes you can watch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better than being caught up in like.
Yeah, that's like every Sunday or every Monday morning after Game of Thrones, we're like, more episodes! Why can't I watch them all?
Well, that's why I feel like we did the first 3 seasons of Lost right, because we're so far behind, we had all of them available, so it's like every night it's like, another episode! You know? It's
different, though. Like, I tell people just, what was it? Like, as kids, we never watched a lot of TV. Like, you remember, we were allowed to watch, like, maybe 1 episode a night, and then Saturday mornings was free range, but like Fridays it was like one VHS of an anime series, and then you had to wait a whole week to watch the next one. So I mean, it was that delayed gratification where you just got excited for what was going to come, and you weren't spending all your time watching TV. But like now it's just Netflix. It's like, oh, I can watch the entire season of anything I want, and then you just like stream through it, which is not good. But so many people identify.
For no reason at all, when we're flicking around on the recommendations, it's like, oh, you should watch X-Men, the animated series, and I'm like, let's just play this just to watch the intro, you know, and then we just watch the whole damn episode because it's.
I think I said that we watched the whole season.
No, we didn't do that yet, but like, it's just I was just like encapsulated in it because it's so ridiculous. It just follows. Basically, it follows Jubilee because she's the young one, and we need to identify with her because Wolverine's too old for us to identify with, kind of deal. Yeah. But it's like it follows her the whole time, and she's being like chased by a Sentinel or whatever, and then she goes to a mall to play video games. And apparently, all the X-Men were at the mall this day because she bumps into Rogue and Storm, and Gambit's like at the card shop.
I love Gambit.
You know, and for whatever reason, Cyclops is just hanging out in the parking lot alone.
He's watching the car.
They left him in the car with the window cracked open just a little. He's like, Cyclops, we can't bring you in, of all people. You know, it's like, Gambit, you know, he may be in full body armor and trench coat and have black eyes with red pupils.
Yeah, they weren't
but at least he's more normal than you, Cyclops.
Cyclops puts on his glasses. Doesn't he have civilian wear, or does he always walk around in the blue and yellow spandex?
Not in this episode. Speaking of which, his friggin' yellow codpiece is so distracting. Like, friggin' Xavier is like that height, so it's like his conversations are so direct.
It's like the cinematography. You've always got like that piece framing in the...
It's so bright on his blue uniform. I couldn't look away.
Watch this.
I never noticed before. I was like trying to pay attention to the conversation. Like, oh, what? The guy's up here. It's great. But if you get a chance, you watch X-Men on Netflix.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to put on the first episode.
It's a treat. It's ridiculous. It is so funny, that show. Oh, X-Men. Benjamin Boston saying Story War was the card game.
Story War, that was it.
They made a thing for. I think Lindsay and Alex are doing the last 5 episodes of Batman Spider-Man.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
I was just glancing across Tumblrs and Twitter, so I didn't really get all the stories, but I just wrote it down anyway. I'm like, there's news! We got Chris O saying, if you guys could, would you ever want to make a TV show of Silly Kingdom? Probably yes.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I don't know if we'd be able... well, you know, I feel like I don't know too much... I like how I start all my sentences and just kind of veer off. I went to an Animatic TO talk the other day, and it was with... I
missed that one. Yeah.
It was good. It was with Brandon... I totally forget Brandon's last name, but he's the creator of Just in Time, which is a preschool show. Which was created in-house at the Studio Guru in Toronto. And it was an interesting talk because it was about developing new shows within a studio system. And it's kind of like, I think Gravity Falls was the same way, and so was like Regular Show, where it was people that worked in the studio that, you know, oh, we're having an open pitch if anyone has ideas. It's a lot less daunting than trying to go up against like a cold pitch to a studio because you're already a known person and you're already involved in the system. And it sounded really... Like, it got me excited because it sounded doable, you know, like that kind of way. It was like, if you know the people at the studio, like, it sounded really like something that could happen versus, like, it sounds almost impossible where it's like you go in with your pitch to, like, in front of all the producers and you just get no. But it sounded like Guru was a studio that was really interested in creator-owned projects. And so I was like, oh, maybe, we're not maybe at the place now where places like Toronto can make stuff like Gravity Falls or take more chances. Like I feel they do in the States where they make a lot more different kinds of shows. But like I think we can get to that point. If not now, maybe within the next 5 years, because there's a lot of studios out there that, and there's like House of Cool that's trying all these different things as well. So I mean, I feel like it's possible to get your stuff made.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny because like just before we did it as a comic, I was writing Silly Kingdom as a TV pitch.
Well, we were approached by a studio to pitch something, and it ended up petering out. But that was the one we were going to pitch, was Silly Kingdom.
Yeah, yeah. And so instead of that, we went to comic. And it was interesting because it was originally written as a radio play. Then I was rewriting it as a TV. Then it got rewritten as a comic. So it kind of went through a bunch of mediums, which are all different in many ways.
But, I mean, the thing is, like, I have friends that, like, their dream is to get a show made. Like, they love the idea of running a show. For me, like, my dream has always been comics. So, I mean, it would be amazing to work on it, to like run your own TV show, but it almost seems too big for me. Yeah. Whereas like a comic, it's me, you, and maybe like a couple people we can hire to help us out with stuff. Like it's not too giant and daunting a machine, but I mean I think it's learnable. It would be fun to give it a try. Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Well, yeah, you keep the possibility open. Now it's not my end goal. Like if it happens, like I'm all for it. I'm not fighting for that right now, because I'm. Like I wouldn't even know like what role I'd take in it.
Yeah, like I feel like I'd be more interested in making shorts for the internet than I would pitching a series for a network.
Yeah. We just gotta find a way to like monetize
that. Yeah.
Keep making more. Like we'll kickstart it. Silly Kingdom the movie.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, we just kickstart it. Oh god, now
pages. Now 2 hours. Go. We got Esmeraldante Chopez saying hi again, guys, from Margarita Island, Venezuela.
Hello, Venezuela, Margarita Island.
I see that you're always working on new stuff. Would you like to do a comic about marine life? Kind of scientific. What do you think the public... Wait, hold on a second. I see that you're always working on new stuff. Would you like to do a comic about marine life? Kind of scientific, but you think the public would like that? I want to do it in the future on my own. It's funny you say that because SpongeBob SquarePants started off as a like aquarium just comic that the guy was doing. This guy worked in an aquarium and he made like, and it didn't look like the SpongeBob you see now. He actually looked like a sea sponge of the time. It was just like the silly little character, and somehow that blew. And it was all like edutainment, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just insanity. I don't know if you learn a thing from it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a learning show.
But the public has a taste for aquatic knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you just look at the breadth of manga and how many different topics there are. Like, you can, as long as your story is interesting and you have characters people like to follow, you can make a story about anything. It's like baking competitions, tennis, like high school stuff, college stuff, band stuff. I'm not even touching the surface. Giant robots, quiet moments, picnic parties. You can make something about anything.
That's always why I like manga, because it seemed the mainstream always had more variety of subject matter. It's like you never. I don't know if you'll ever see like Marvel's Cupcake Challenge, the series. Like that's more of something that would happen in some zany anime or manga. Mm-hmm. So like definitely, but still at the same time, when it comes to indie comics, like every subject matter is touched upon. A lot of personal stories, a lot of over-the-top stuff, a lot of fantasy. So if as far as public taste, it really just comes down to how you do it.
Yeah, it's like people try and read the trends, but I think if you make something good, it's like when a vampire thing comes out and everyone's like, vampires are the new thing. It's like, no, good stories are the thing. Like the reason this was good, but then it's like, oh, maybe this was waiting for this new thing to come in. But like, I don't know, if you trying to look at the trends, I think just make something good and put your heart into it, and then people will feel that.
That's what the trends.
Go for it. Do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Yeah, let's do it. Friggin' do it. That's our advice. Just friggin' do it, jeez.
Like, what I find interesting, too, like, going back to my epic 14-year fantasy story I'm writing, it's like, it seemed like there was not really much room for fantasy growing. Like, there wasn't a lot of fantasy stuff out there. Like, it wasn't kind of mainstream at all. It was very niche, kind of. Like, it was I think geek culture, nerd culture liked a lot of nerd stuff, but it wasn't mainstream at all. But then, like, the Lord of the Rings movies came out, and those were really popular. And I was like, oh, awesome! Like, this is starting to emerge again. And then, like, The Hobbit came out, and then, like, with the Game of Thrones, it's a fantasy series that's, like, super mainstream that everybody, like, a huge percent of the population, or not, like, it's really popular media, which I didn't know would happen in a fantasy setting. So it's like, oh, maybe now there's too much fantasy to pitch something like that, but I don't know how those trends work, but it's interesting. It makes me happy. It's like all those fantasy books I read as a teen. I'm like, nobody's into this. Now everybody's into it.
Yeah, well, that was like, I've been kind of kicking around this giant robot kind of show, homage to like Power Rangers type things and Evangelion for a while. And in that time that I've been working on it, like Pacific Rim has come and gone. Friggin' Titanfall's released, and there's all this other giant robot stuff. I'm like, damn it! It's like now everyone's gonna think like I made this because of those. I'm like, I made it before those. So it's whenever you get done, but whatever. Like that's the only other thing. Like the difference is you don't follow the trends intentionally, but at the same time, it's kind of like if you're going to make it anyway, will people be tired of it before it even happened? If it's like, another robot thing, if you had this vampire opus of yours, or wait, not opus, what's the word for like your works, your life's work? Opus is the problem. Yeah, that thing, the other word.
Raison d'etre.
If you have your vampire raison d'etre that you've been writing for the last 10 years, and now you're just like, oh god, they killed the genre.
Yeah.
Maybe wait another year and then it'll be fresh again. Because like zombies keep coming back.
Yeah, but I think people are getting kind of tired of zombies. But if a good zombie thing comes along, then sure.
Yeah. It's just that wasn't World War Z in the movie. That was just kind of like a misstep.
That was ridiculous. I'm glad you watched that on the plane so I could be like,
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just
this giant wall. Let's all sing and dance. No one's watching the wall. Oh, are there zombies climbing over the wall? Oh, damn.
Yeah, like as I said, my problem with that movie is everything that happens only happens because the main character shows up on time for it to happen. It's like he's the trigger. Not that he does anything, he's just there. So it's like now the action has to happen because he's there.
And that just feels like sloppy writing to me because I remember as a kid watching Aliens and, you'd see Ripley going through all these crazy trials and being one of the few who survives. And I think it was the second movie where I was like, does she survive because she's the main character, or is she the main character because she survives? It's like, do you follow this person and this person's like invincible, or is it like you're following this person because they're the one who made it through all these trials? And it's like in the first two movies I get it. I feel like afterwards it gets, well, I mean, I haven't seen the third movie, but some movies it's like the hero is just the hero and he's the vessel to get you through the story. And I mean that's okay if you want to get your story told, but like I think a good story, it's like you want that character to drive the decisions and to maybe not be flying through the story just like, oh, what's happening?
Well, like I actually, it's funny you mentioned that exact saying of are they the hero because they survived, or do they survive because they're the hero? And that's actually one of the core questions of this. I don't know if it's supposed to be a book or an audio thing. I've been writing for years too, and it kind of addresses that. And one of the examples I kind of give is like say you have your main cast of Star Wars characters. You've got your Han, your Leia, your Chewie, your Luke, your Wedge, your Biggs, all these characters. And like some of them die and some of them survive, but there's always like the core three that just kind of make it through everything. They'll meet new characters and those new characters will die before them.
Yeah, like Galaxy of Fear.
Yeah, and well let's not do that again. But the point is like when you have a series that keeps going, that the main characters keep surviving, that is the question. Are they the main character because they're like, wow, they made it through all this, let's hear their story, or is it like every obstacle they can only overcome because they are the lead character? And the example I can give is you take a bunch of like marbles or pennies or something and you huck them down the stairs and see how many steps all of them make it down. And chances are one of them will make it all the way down. And if you call every single step of the stairs a conflict, and like I say pennies would be better because marbles would probably fall. So take a bunch of pennies and just huck them down the stairs and see how many make it to the very bottom. And that's like your likelihood of characters surviving. So see, some made it down like 5 steps, some made it down 7, some made it all the way to the bottom. And the ones that and if 3 of them made it to the bottom, you're like, those are my 3 main characters because they survived all these steps.
Well, I mean, that's what I think. That's what made Game of Thrones so unique. I'm not going to spoil it, but like major characters get killed off in it, and that's really interesting to watch because it's like you think, oh, this is the main character. No, this isn't the main character. This is the main character. No, that's not the main character. But it's like you're following like a bigger story where these characters exist in it. And then it does, I don't know, some movies, some stories, you just kind of want to follow an adventure, so you don't want to think too much. It's like, oh, are they going to get out of this? Yes, of course. But like, I think it makes more interesting writing where it's like you're actually worried if they're going to make it through, if this character can do all the things they're supposed to do. But yeah, and a giant, like when you're throwing all the pennies in like those movies with like 12 characters, it's kind of like, I'm assuming someone's not going to make it. You know?
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's an interesting study on that, just to like, because it's kind of like once you've done your first few movies, it's like, all right, now they're just like, unless you planned it like to explain why they keep making it, but it's like, but the other half is you don't want to piss off people who like the main characters and you switch to a different character and blah blah blah.
And it's a different kind of storytelling because some people I think it's like the satisfying storytelling too. Because some people I think just want to set up expectations and ruin them, like ha, take that. But like it's to kill your characters, but also make it a satisfying story. I think is a skill.
Yeah, I don't think I'm able to do both of those yet.
Yeah.
Because like also I'm just also I know death is a big theme because it is of life, but when like the main crux of your story is who's going to live and who's going to die, it's kind of like it's tiring to me after a while. I'm like I'd rather see how they live versus if they die.
Instead of it being a contest.
Yeah. We got Chops
like the
responding.
100? No.
Well, we'll get into the 100 in a second. My new favorite show, Game of Thrones. Step aside. The 100's here. Okay. Thanks, says Chops. I want to show to the people how is our world down there, and you are my inspiration with a good sense of humor. I traveled this year to Vancouver to study some English.
Oh, great!
And see some schools of art. I'm a marine biologist too. So you got a lot of source material there, because like me, if I wrote a marine biology story, I'd be like just using my impression of it. But you actually have the groundwork, so you can like tell people some stuff they couldn't even contemplate about plankton and all of like. I'm just being very vague here, but like you know, like you've seen the underground volcanic works and all this stuff, and I'm just like basically you are BioShock to me. You are my big daddy. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what that reference means.
You should play BioShock. Anyhoozle. Sorry, there's some more here too. So I hope to I hope to see you guys if it's possible to let me, of course, or buy your work when I'll get to Canada.
Well, we're going to be at
we're going to be in Vancouver next month.
Yeah, the May 24th weekend.
Yeah.
So it's totally free. You should come check it out.
Talking about Transformers, as continued from Chops in Japan. Yes, they mixed the universe of Evangelion with Transformers, so they are fighting. And oh yeah, that's true. Really? I heard Evangelion and Transformers, which is weird because the Evas are bigger than the Transformers. Like you need them.
Evas
to fight.
are the size of buildings.
Yeah, Evas are building tall because there is height differences. Like the Transformers are vehicles. There's a couple ones like
the Evas can pick up a Transformer, turn it into a truck, and drive it.
Play with it and make vroom vroom noises.
Yeah.
And there'll be like cello
existential
music.
crises.
There'll be cello music during, and it's like, why doesn't it vroom like my childhood?
Classic. Freaking love it.
Good old-fashioned fun. But they are mixing it, so we'll see what happens.
Why are they mixing it?
Like Tidal Wave is one of the bigger Transformers. He's actually like an aircraft carrier.
But they're mixing it for just toys, or they're mixing it for like they're making a show?
For giggles.
Oh, okay.
They can. They have the power.
Yeah. Okay.
If some guy came to you right now and he's like, hey, okay, Transformers and Evangelion, do you want to mix them? It's kind of like pudding. There's milk.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no, but like if they were like, we're going to make a movie, I'd be like,
I don't know, guys. I don't know about that.
I'm going to have next name on this.
Gonna have to think on this. Couple sleeps.
Just a couple.
Tyler Mann saying, I'm so late, but I made it.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we record these, so you can catch up on it later.
You can watch me being wrong later. Not knowing things.
And again and again and again.
An interesting, controversial, gender-based toy news.
Uh-oh, what's
up? One of my favorite subjects. McDonald's recently, of course, tried to abolish the concept of having boys and girls toys as the definition because due to the uprising of the brony culture and it's boys wanting to have the pony instead of the car, they didn't want to have this whole like this is girl toy, this is boy toy. So that's all well and good. Get rid of the definition. Why not? Just be like I want this toy, I want that toy.
Yeah, why not?
That being said, some people are not happy with the Spider-Man toys that came out recently with McDonald's.
Boy.
The boy, traditionally, of the classic boy toy section, even though that name is abolished, I don't know what you call it now then, it's just that section. It's, you know, your
I love that toy.
mask, you know, figurine, a freaking spider, whatever the hell it is. The other section, which would be traditionally the girls' toy section, is all, instead of Spider-Man red, it's all like a purpley pink color, and they're all things like purses and
because that's what we
apparel.
like, purses and hair stuff.
Yes.
Like, we have one interest, and it's purses and hair stuff.
Yes. So this is where we stand. Now.
It's kind of a thing where it's like when guys are like, I want equality. It's like, okay. When girls are like, no, purses. You get purses and bows.
So, like,
why can't we get Mary Jane?
Yeah, that's the question. Like, why don't we have, like, the Emma or the, what's her face? See, this is great. I don't even know her name.
Or Shadow Cat, or Black Widow.
Well,
Cat?
it's based on the movie, so she's not in it, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So the question.
Wonder Woman. Why not? Yeah, Wonder Woman toys.
So the question, like, look it up right now, actually, so you know what I'm talking about. So everyone right now, type Spider-Man McDonald's toys.
Okay.
Sorry, I'd screen share, but I don't want to dare chance it. Actually, would it be Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 2? Amazing.
Is it like?
Yeah, type in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and there's like, oh, there they are. Okay, so. You know, you got the Spider-Man purse, you got the hair, and they're all like hearts and things like that too, and it's all like kind of pink and cute, and really cute.
It's like Spider-Man accessories.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute.
So this raises the question now, since if there is no boy and girl toy definition,
like
but these are all still there, is it still a problem if the girls still completely have the option to say they want the boy toy, like the traditional boy toy? Because I was reading a bunch of articles.
If your theme is just Spider-Man, it's cool to have all these different options. But if it's like girl toy, boy toy, and the girl toy is always going to be purses and hair accessories, just different themes, it's like that's not enough of a variety.
Yeah. This is where it gets tricky for me though, because it's kind of like.
But this stuff's fun. Like I feel like Spider-Man headband, that's cute. But it's like, and then if you want the toy, you can get the toy. But.
Because you
stuff gets so tricky. This stuff always gets so tricky because it's like there's nothing wrong if you want this stuff, but it's like.
Because it's like wristband, headband with a heart and a spider in it.
Yeah, like that's actually really cute. Like I always at cons whenever I see the cute superhero inspired like lady things, I'm just like that's fun. You know, it's a Wonder Woman headband. That's adorable. I'd wear that.
No, the stuff I was reading was interesting because it's talking. I think this was either from like the Mary Sue article or something like that. But it's talking about the concept of gender toys was more for the parents than it was for the kids. And going back to the Lego example, Legos used to be box of Legos, end of the day. But as they started being more catered towards the certain audiences, where it's like, oh, it's ninja, it's all aggressive stuff, this is based on superheroes, it's like the idea was like for a parent or aunt to be like, oh, this is for the girl and this is for the boy, and it was made very apparent and very obvious. That being said, if these are all just there at McDonald's and everyone has the option to pick whatever they want, is it still problematic if it's like this is cute and this is closer to the source material kind of thing? Because it's not like they're saying you're not allowed to have, because the problem is they're like, there's no girl Spider-Man mask. But I'm like, well, there is a Spider-Man mask.
I think the problem maybe comes down to it's like you have this small window to represent a whole lot of stuff. If this was just like in a section, if you were walking down the pink aisle in a Toys R Us and you saw Spider-Man gear, you'd be like, that's really cool. They're making like Spider-Man stuff more like feminine for girl. That's awesome. But when it's like a girl toy, boy toy, and then it just makes it like, because you're looking at this collection and you're putting all this different experience and judgments on it, so you're like analyzing it like crazy.
Yeah.
Where I think it's really cute, but then it's like, does it say, is there a problem with the bigger message? I'd be like, yeah, Spider-Man notebook, that's cool, I can use that, I can draw on it.
Well, like I saw this actually before all the articles came out because I was at a McDonald's and I just turned and saw, oh, it's all Spider-Man stuff, and I'm like, that was actually interesting because usually it's like,
because otherwise it's Spider-Man
pony,
and puppies.
Like usually the split down the middle is like up here is Micro Machines and
there's a Spidey clutch. That's fun. No, I think this is fun.
Because that's the line I'm on, where I'm kind of like, it's no one's saying you can't have the other section. It's all there, but they're definitely like saying this is like a more masculine version and this is a more cute version.
Yeah.
Which, if
you know what, I think it's The thing is, I don't know. Like,
There's no net pollution.
It depends who you're talking to. This could be a problem. This could not be a problem. I don't know. I mean, right now I look at it and I'm like, yeah, you know, you pick one theme and then you have a variety on the theme, and then yeah, it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You want the
Because I thought that was just
beat 'em up
unique in
toys, or do
itself.
you want the cute
Yeah.
stuff?
Because I thought that was just unique in itself that they had both were the same product. Like, I don't think I've ever really seen that
Yeah.
in a long time.
Actually, I really like that. I kind of want this clutch. You know what I mean?
So, you go to the Mary Sue and that's your comment. You're like, I kind of want all of this stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I want to like look at it with like an analyzing eye, but then I'm like, yeah, this looks fun.
But I think is this not like, maybe, I don't want to say misstep, because like, is this not kind of trying?
I think this is the right direction.
Okay, so we'll see what happens with the future.
Because if you want the action figure, you should get the action figure.
Yeah.
You want the freaky ass spider, get the freaky ass.
Yeah, I don't know why that's an option.
I would
don't
not
want
get that. But
It's
some
like,
people
hey,
would
kids,
think that was cool.
Today
and
at
there's a car.
McDonald's with
If
your
you want the car,
cheeseburger,
get the car.
there's a
That's
giant
awesome.
fucking spider. Like, I don't want that with my fries.
It's at the bottom of your fry.
Yeah, I don't want to reach in and be like, those are fries. Those are legs.
I think it gets so tricky with this stuff though, is it's like you're trying to speak for a wider problem, but it's like it's individual, you know. Like some girls won't want that stuff; they'll want the cool stuff. And some girls will want the cute stuff. So when you're saying no, you shouldn't want this cute stuff, it's like you're, you know, fighting what. But it's like you only want this because you've been conditioned by society to want it. It's like, oh, well, I kind of need a headband, and I like Spider-Man. Why can't I? No, like it gets, I don't know.
You will get the spider in your meal.
I don't
You
want
are not gender bound.
Put that spider in that Big Mac. I don't want it. I hate spiders. Why can't we have puppies?
Yeah. Well, like, and all this was also leading me to other thoughts too. Like, I know like the whole brony is like a phenomenal, like kind of a big phenomenon that we haven't really seen in as far as gender catered stuff. But I was thinking back to when I was in grade school. I was a huge Sailor Moon fan.
Yeah.
And that shit I kept quiet.
So did I though, because nerd culture wasn't big. Like for you, it was like, oh, I'm a guy, I can't like Sailor Moon. Me, I'm like, I can't like Sailor Moon because everybody's into friggin' New Kids on the Block, and you still watch cartoons.
Yeah.
Like it's.
But like I was way into Sailor Moon. I think like my coming out was Halloween when I dressed as Tuxedo Mask, and that's like you can't hide it after that.
You did. That was so good.
That was my bold like statement as a youth. I'm like, I'm not just any magician. I am Tuxedo Mask.
That's amazing. That's so good.
I remember
I dressed up as a Sailor Scout.
My memory of that though is and this is like me in grade school, like grade thing or something like that. But like running around as Tuxedo Mask at night, I have heard all these girls being like, "Save me, Tuxedo Mask! Save me!" I'm like running to the lids and shit, like, Tuxedo Mask.
That's amazing. Oh, I love that.
Tuxedo Mask. Oh, no.
You're like, you must believe in your heart.
Yeah, I should have had like some cards of inspiration. Feel like, you know, eat your breakfast and, you know, believe in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
Yeah. So
yeah, you totally did that. I totally forgot about that.
Like that was, you know, it was kind of scary at the time because you can't let anyone know because it's like I think even liking anime was like weird at the time because everyone was like, "Isn't that cartoon porn?" Yeah.
Which I don't know how you would even know what hentai was as a 12-year-old back then.
There might have been like one or two.
It's like someone mentioned it and then it's all like anime porn. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Like I'm only hearing about it because other people are saying it.
Well, I think like Ninja Scroll was the closest thing anyone saw because that had content in it. And that was like probably the most like in as much as Akira was known.
But so does like live action movies. Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't like a straight up like porno.
Like friggin' well, you know, most of your there's James Bond movies have like not explicit but they have scenes. But like cartoons traditionally weren't known to have those.
Well, yeah, that was like the heavy metal. So that was like, oh my god.
So if there was one, everyone would know about it. It's like this cartoon is out of sight. It's got the boobs.
Oh my goodness.
So there's grade school kids talking like that. I don't know why. Yeah.
Look at the boobs.
Best. I heard there's a code in Tomb Raider where you can get Lara Croft naked. Yeah.
Probably.
And we tried for 7 hours and it didn't work. That's the mentality of a grade schooler.
Yay. Pretty much.
I don't know. Just going back. Chop's saying, I think in August or November I'll be in Vancouver. Don't know what part. but it is big. But it is a big beginning. I think I'll see you. Haha. Here in Venezuela, Spider-Man 2 is showing in a theater in Caracas that have 4D. The chairs rumble.
What?
Spray water and spiders all over you. Well,
I was gonna say spiders drop from the ceiling.
4D. We rain spiders on you in theater, and you'll like it.
That's terrible.
The full experience.
That's awful.
Only in
I'll
Venezuela.
never leave my house.
I will never go to the theater again.
It's like the whole McDonald's thing. They're like, would you like the girl toy or the boy toy? I'm like, does it have to be spiders?
Yeah, it's like, geez, could it be something nicer like Kitten Man? Like, come on.
Why can't somebody make Kitten Man?
4D. Then I think they include a BBC link to stuff about these spider crabs in the ocean. Spider crabs are the most cute of the ocean, says.
The most cute?
Make sure your comic has this adorable spider crabs in it then.
Spider crabs.
And Maya also said, and to think we consider pink a girly color because of Hitler. Interesting.
Pink used to be a boy color. Because red is the masculine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't read this, but someone was telling me it where it was like people would dress girls in blue and boys in pink back in olden days because they wanted the demons to take the girls and not the little boys. So they would dress up the little boys in dresses.
That was their motivation.
Would be like, oh wait, I can't take it. That's a girl.
Wait, so you're saying since they thought pink was a girl color and girls were pink, we better make the
demons
boys.
wanted the firstborn son, so they would come looking for the firstborn son. But if he's
they
all
hide the boy in pink. That's so interesting.
I'm confusing it.
History is a wonderful thing.
Really and lacy, all the
stranger things have happened in history than in fiction. Anyway, Tyler Mann is saying, are you guys prepared for TCAF in a couple weeks?
Now, I have a sad announcement for anybody coming to TCAF.
That hype for this?
No, Silly Kingdom isn't going to be done, unfortunately. I really don't want to rush it, and there's a lot of tonal work that needs to be done in this one because it's set at night and there's
entirely.
There's a lot of I need to do a lot of inking. So I set a schedule to see if I could try and blast through it, and it just would have suffered the quality. So unfortunately, Silly Kingdom will not be ready for TCAF. What we will have at TCAF is the Cautionary Fables and Fairy Tales 2, which has our new story in it, Domain and Demazana, which we worked on last winter. So we will have new stuff. It's just Silly Kingdom won't be ready. But we're going to have a launch party when it's done. So there will be, if you're in Toronto, I know a lot of people travel for TCAF, so that's a bummer. But anybody in Toronto, we will have a launch party when Silly Kingdom 2 is ready. And also, I've opened up pre-orders as well, so some people have been signing up for that because I'm doing sketches in them as well, so that's on our big cartel. But, I set myself up a schedule, and I just kept falling back a little bit, and it's not going to happen. Sorry! You knew this, though. I was kind of telling you that I didn't think I was going to be able to make it.
I know.
I know.
Damn, it's just TCAF's our big show.
I know.
But we'll have us there.
And if we can't make it next year, we'll just get one of our friends to.
Fun.
Yay.
Yeah.
Come yell at us while we make these videos.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tyler continues. There are so many other cons this summer you guys will be at in Toronto. I don't think we have any other cons planned for Toronto.
I'm doing the Taffy animation convention.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
in June.
Taffy.
So Silly Kingdom should be ready for that.
So June, we'll be there.
It'll be done this month. It just won't be ready for TCAF. It just. Yeah, but June Taffy, I believe it's free to get in.
Taffy's going to be a big show. We got Steven Silver coming to town. We got Natasha Allegri from Being Puppycat coming to town. Taffy's going to be quite exciting, so be sure to stop by for that. There's lots going on in Toronto. It's just a good town. It's comic town, cartoon town, video games. Bring your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. We got Chris though saying, I will make sure to order it, for I have the power of a credit card now, dude.
That is power.
The day I got my credit card, I'm like, think geek, please, and thank you.
Yeah, it just I don't know, it freed me up so much. It's like they're like, you need to be free, you need a passport, a credit card, and your driver's license. So
always pay off your credit card. Do not get debt. Debt is the last thing you want in life.
Don't get debt. Don't buy stuff if you can't afford it, because it's, I don't know, like, we're not the financial show, but it seems like for the amount of money that you end up having to pay in interest, it's better to like open up a line of credit and pay that off at a lower interest than to have a huge. Do your research. Do your research.
Don't get debt.
Like, don't get into debt.
Pay off your Visa, your credit card, MasterCard, whatever, as soon as you can. All of it. It's nice. Like, basically, having the card, the nicest thing is, like, if you have a setup that you get like money back or points. That's why you should primarily use it. Like, get your movie points or coffee points.
I use my credit card all the time because I get points at my local grocery store. So
yeah,
but I pay it off like a debit at the end of the month. It's like there's those ads I keep seeing around where it's like, don't pay for it later, pay for it now, and it was like about using debit. But I'm like, that's how I use my credit card. Essentially, it just gives you the ability to book hotels, buy things over the internet.
Yeah. That's the main reason I use it. Like, I don't want to buy things I can't afford. That scares me. Like, I know with houses and stuff it comes with mortgages, but even that.
But you wouldn't buy a house with a credit card. You would get a mortgage.
But it's that idea.
And the same thing with a line of credit would be you taking out a loan. It wouldn't be at a lower rate than a credit card.
Yeah.
And then paying that off.
Even
it's like student loans.
I really want that. I really want that Xbox One, but I can't afford it right now. But I have a credit card. It's like, don't do it. Don't. Make sure you can afford something if you can. That's just our advice, because if you can live debt free, that is true freedom.
It's true. Yeah. It's one of the advice I hear just from people freelancing. It's like, pay off your debts. Don't get into credit card debt. Save up enough for a rainy day. Like, save up at least 3 months of rent in case the job disappears and then you need to look around for stuff.
Yes, very appropriate and apt advice. Have a nest egg.
Yeah, no, it's important.
I say I hardly use it ever, and I usually pay like the same day I use it. Very good. Keep it. Good. Like, I use it mainly for online purchases, for all those wacky figurines from Ami and stuff like that. Because I'm like, what's this? Legend of Zelda Link Figma? It will be mine. But as soon as I get charged, I pay it off as soon as I can. And all you should do that too. This is financial advice hour from Masters of Finances, Katie and
Masters of Finance.
Caller, you're on the line. What's your financial question? Put the down payment. Dividends, go! I don't know. There's actually a video you should check out. One day I was like, I want to be smarter. And so I typed...
I want to be smarter into Google.
Yes. I forget what it was. It was about... I was curious why... oh gosh, now I don't even know what my question or thought is. It was why the things and mortgages and interest rates and stuff go up and down. It was all about economy, and it was this video talking about, like, people spend a lot here, and then everything starts losing value, blah, blah, blah. And it was this animated short that was like 30 minutes. But it was really interesting, really informative, and I forget it all now, so good job that.
Yeah. I feel like I want to be like a sponge, but I'm more like, what is that, a sieve or something? Like the thing where you pour water through and it just comes out. Like a strainer.
I'm like a pasta strainer more than a sponge for knowledge.
My mind is a pasta strainer.
There's a residue of information on it for a bit, and it's hard to wash off if you leave it for a day.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't retain shit.
Wish I had a better memory. But the brain's a muscle, right? You gotta work out.
Yeah, you gotta go online, and it's like, well, it only takes an hour a day, and you can work out your muscles at a gym, but no place for the brain. But I went to Luminosity.
I was on Luminosity for a bit, and then I was like, I'm essentially paying $70 a year to play video games.
We bought Brain Age, damn it! You don't need Luminosity.
I know, just play Sudoku.
I have 2 copies of Brain Age. Still works. Still informative.
I guess I felt smarter, but
because that's
people
the impression.
Have been doing all right without.
I wear Nike shoes and I feel cooler. I play Luminosity. I feel smarter.
But it is true. It's as we get older, we kind of just like when you're a kid, you're constantly learning, and you're. I don't remember what that brain thing is, but I remember it being because there's that thing where it's like you can't learn anything after 30, and I'm like, that's crazy. But it's like when you're a kid, it's
crazy true.
Crazy true. But it's like when you're a kid, it's easier because your brain is apt to learn stuff and soak stuff in, and you're already learning, so it's easier to keep learning. So you have all this extra information, and then as an adult, it's like you kind of fall into your patterns, or you fall into your work patterns, and unless you're actively trying to work it out, it just gets easy to fall into a slump, and it's having to actually recognize that and work at it. Read new things. Why you should do learn a new language. Try and learn stuff, and
join an axe throwing league.
I know. Well, I mean, the same thing for working out, because it's like you feel better when you exercise, but then it's just tricking yourself to getting to the gym is so hard. Because I know I'll feel good. I'll know I'll be able to work harder if I go exercise, but it's like, now it's raining. I don't feel like it. I don't want to.
For some people, the gym is their hobby, and like, yay on them, because they're able to be fit and enjoy themselves. The gym would be like my drudgery of like, oh, God, I gotta do
But
this.
it's like that at first. But, I mean, you feel good when an hour of something. Like, and the gym stuff is not for me. It's not super fun. But, like, that's why it would be good to trampoline dodgeball, go do something fun with a bunch of friends, make it more about play than about, like, more work.
And that's why I bought Wii Fit for the Wii U.
Yeah,
so I can run on the spot like an idiot. Pretend I'm jogging on an island. We got Tyler Mann saying, have you thought about having a couple pages as preview for TCAF of Silly Kingdom 2?
I would. As long as they're not spoiler pages. I was actually thinking about doing what we did at San Diego and just printing an in-progress thing, but I was like, nah, I should hand it out when it's done and not hand out these, like, quasi-finished things. Because the thing is, it sucks that we're going to be late with it, but it's like the final product, I think, will be better for it. And then, years later when you're reading The Silly Kingdom, it's like, oh, this is a good book versus they were so late with this.
I'm holding a rushed product in my hands.
Yeah.
Could do, like, I don't know, like, page or two with one of those, what will happen next? Find out.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is I left the first pages to last. Because I wanted them to look really good. Oh. So, you warm up in the middle and then you work your way through.
Well, like the middle page then, like when they're like by the lake or something. Or is that
Yeah, you know what? I'll talk to you about that if there's something you want. Yeah, we can work out a little sample thing.
Oh yeah, I was going to put out there, just since we're talking about knowledge and things, if everyone can enter into the chat one piece of information we don't know, so we can all learn something new tonight. We learned that sea crabs, spider crabs of the sea are the cutest, so we learned that.
Are they?
In Venezuela.
I'm going to look.
So I want all of you, he's like, oh, kill them!
No.
So I want all of you right now watching, if you have access to the Q&A, post one bit of new information for all of us to learn tonight, because our brains are getting dumb. Really? Is it just called sea spider? Because I don't want spiders to show up.
Well, I think I'm looking at ocean crab, actually.
Ocean crab, cute.
They're kind of funny. They got like little, little eyes that hang on top of their head. I don't think this is the one he was mentioning, but
no, but the ocean crab. Type in ocean crab and cute. And,
they've got like little eyes that just pop up at the top of their heads.
They're so happy to be there.
It's like
I'm happy now.
Alert.
I feel a lot better.
Why can I look at this and be okay, but when I Google spiders, I freak out?
Don't.
I don't get it. Like, they look like spiders, right? You'd think so, but I can look at it and I'm fine. But if I see a spider, I'll be like, Gee.
We got Kel saying, going back to credit cards, I mostly use my credit card for business expenses, so sometimes I can't pay it all off at once if I have a slow month, but it helps with some of the dire months of the year. Yes.
That's true. I mean, it definitely helps you out if you're like, I need to get these things, and then, you need to buy that print order, and the people haven't, like, bought the books yet, but they will soon, and then...
Yeah. We just mean like luxury items, like if you're like, oh man, everyone's playing Titanfall, I want an Xbox
It's just
One.
like, I know people that are like, yeah, I have like a couple $1,000s on my card. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, like be smart, be careful. I'm not saying like avoid, like if you have to, like do what you gotta do, but be careful when it comes to luxury items. Like if you're like, oh, I want to buy 1,000 nuggets at McDonald's, I'm like, dude, you could say, like, think about what you're doing. It's a good idea, I know, but think about it. Financial advice.
Think about it.
Yeah. Let's see. What time is it? Well, it's almost 10 o'clock, so we're almost wrapping up, and I hope you guys have some tips and stuff for the rest of us. Fan fiction, the show we talked about. I want to quickly talk about what I spent most of last night doing. I played this game up until like 4 in the morning or 3.
What?
Called The Stanley Parable. It's a game from Steam, or online, whatever. And the basic premise is you're this guy Stanley, and you're in this office, and everyone else is gone for some reason. And the whole game is about you wandering around interacting with the narrator, who's this British guy who no one really knows what his agenda is. And it is a fascinating game. It explores the whole ideas of choice and does choice even mean anything in a game? What's the value of an ending of a game? What's the right ending for you? Is there a complete ending? If you haven't yet, play the Stanley Parable. 100% recommended, especially if you're into writing and writing for games and things like that. Katie, you should play it too. It's quick. You can beat it once and be done with it, or you can beat it 17 times and get different experiences from it, and it's just a mind bend.
Ooh.
The Stanley Parable. Check it out. Full recommendations. It's worth your pennies. But make sure you can afford it on Steam. It's a pleasure item. You may be able to write it off though if you call it for writing.
Yeah.
All right, we got Mia throwing in a fact. Fact question. The Colosseum was largely covered by plants to the point that it was famous for being an excellent place to study them. Also, chunks of Colosseum were used for building other stuff because no one gave a damn. Yes, when I was in Rome, we learned that people started stealing the metals that were actually holding the Colosseum together to sell them, and this is why the Colosseum started falling apart.
Jeez, because people are reaching for the bottom rungs because they're easiest to get at. And then...
But that being said, the higher rungs would thus be worth more because they're more dangerous to steal. So there was an economy built around being a talented asshole, basically.
It's like the Jenga economy.
It's like, these are level 3, bro!
Wow.
And it's like, that's why my seats are shitty now and falling through the floor because you stole those? Just...
What a weird time.
I didn't know about the plants, though, because you watch Gladiator, and the Colosseum is basically...
It's very stark. But then
you
know that about a lot of Greek and Roman architecture, or Greek architecture, where it's like, it's known for, like, the pale white columns, but it's like, it's only white because people ripped all the art off. Like, it used to be very vibrant.
So the columns had like Banksy work on it. It was like all.
Well, it was like a lot of mosaic stonework and colors, but it's like you think, like Greek, like white. Everything's just very.
So we're basically cleaning up a version of deteriorated history that has no detail on it. Mm-hmm. It's like, here's a fancy white versus.
But then it's like you wouldn't really see that, I guess, in a period show because that's what people know it as. It's like. Evidence that makes it sound like dinosaurs were feathered creatures. Like it's still rare that you would probably see a pink T-Rex walking around all feathery peacocky unless it was something specifically for that. It's like, go back and fix Jurassic Park.
Vikings wearing horns wasn't actually a thing.
Yeah, they never did that.
Yeah, but if you took that away now, we'd be like, what?
It's weird because it's iconic for the wrong reason, but it's an easy visual. It's like what you were saying, like way back another episode with stereotypes, where it's like it's that too easy kind of it's kind of the lazy way of identifying something.
Yeah, well, so right away people are like, oh, Roman, and like, oh, Viking.
Yeah.
But it's like, who are these bearded guys in that boat? It's like, oh, they're Vikings. Like, where are their horns? Like, they don't have them.
But I guess maybe like that show Vikings that's on now would probably has that right. I haven't watched it yet, but
who knows? We got also Mia saying, well, Gladiator was set in when it was in use. The plant coverage came way after when it was no longer in use. Oh, they meant at the time.
I thought at the time it was like Bondi. Okay, that makes more sense now.
We got Kel McDonald saying something you didn't know from Kel McDonald. Mm-hmm. The most of the stuff in werewolf myths, like the full moon being hurt by silver, etc., were all made up for the Wolfman movie in the 30s. Older werewolf stories just have a person that turns into a wolf.
Oh.
Done. So it's like if the sparkling vampires become canon forever.
Everyone's like vampires sparkle.
Vampires sparkle, and they love garlic. And you're like, all right. But that just comes back to the Max Landis thing, where it's like it was his dad. He's basically saying, my dad told me something once, and it was, he went to me and said, son, how do you kill a vampire? Yeah. He's like, steak in the heart, like garlic, all this stuff. And he's like, no. You can kill a vampire however you want because they don't fucking exist. They're not real. None of this is real. So So that's basically the rules of the myth. It's like you can do whatever. It doesn't matter, you know. So there you
I guess
go.
that's more like the fairy tale kind of storytelling element, where it's like this one weird fantastical thing is what defeats the monster. Where it's like it's undefeatable unless you grab its left toe. That'll make it turn into stone. You're like, all right, I guess that works. It's just like this.
Like, what was the author at the time? Did he like stub his foot and he's like, "Damn, this hurts."
Yeah, who
and he
knows?
wrote that into his myth. He hates it too when he stubs his toe. Freaking Medusa hates that stuff. The only way to defeat Medusa.
He's got a head full of toes.
The guy had a bunch of snakes dumped on him one day. He's like, snakes in my hair! Snakes in my hair! And he wrote a myth, Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that. It's all easy, kids. That's where it all comes from. It's just like one thing. And then it catches. Vikings wearing horns, like one of them probably. It was like, look at me. And someone took a picture.
He's like, no, don't post that anywhere.
No, bro. Oh, man. Now they got the
That's
wrong
all anybody
idea.
knows.
And the legend was born.
Yeah.
You guys have any more historical bits? Throw them our way. Any more information we don't know? Oh, we got Maya H. also saying there was a long period of time when Coliseum was not in use, hence it was taken chunks of and the plants and stuff.
Okay.
And you forget Coliseum hasn't always been an active stadium or a tourist attraction. There is an in-between space called the boring period. I made it hard, but I would call it that. It's like historians believe the boring period lasted somewhere between.
It's like the Dark Ages, the boring period. Nothing really happened.
The quite dull moments of the Coliseum. Sucked. All right, well, we should start wrapping up. Just before we go, I do want to give a shout-out to Bob Hoskins, passed away just recently. You may know him from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, prolific British actor in many productions. He's also actually in a scene in Brazil as like a repairman. Mm-hmm. Look it up if you can. Really funny stuff, but he passed away at the age of, is it 7?
You're 70-something, I think?
71 or 2 or something like that. Great actor, part of our childhood. We rewatched Who Framed Roger Rabbit many times as kids.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I never got that he was an alcoholic, though. I always thought he was drinking root beer or something.
Yeah, I was like, that looks good.
Well, I thought it was like butterscotch drink, and everyone was giving him shit for it because it was just so good. You know,
like,
he had it. I didn't understand what alcoholism was as a kid. So
it's funny that with cartoons and stuff, with all the cartoon characters drinking and chewing tobacco and stuff, you'd think we'd have grown up with bad values.
Yeah, you would think. Like,
that looks so good.
But yeah. It's disheartening to hear, and this is just how life goes on. All our stars, all our favorites, all our heroes go before us. But great actor. Check out some of his work. He was also in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, if you want to go in that direction.
Oh, that's right. We should watch that.
So give it a watch if you can in the next few days. Maybe watch some Who Framed Roger Rabbit in memoriam. Great actor. Always be remembered and internalized in all these films. So check that out. And the best to his family, of course, as well.
Yeah.
Wrapping things up, we got Chops saying, it's poor Belmont's family. Oh, yeah, talking about, like, the vampires and things like that. That's what they have to deal with. The whole, let's see, we got Kel also saying, but yeah, so by Bis Cleverett story in the first cautionary fable is closer to what older werewolf stories were like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check your fictions.
Yeah.
Check stories, things like that. Cool. All right, we're going to start wrapping up. This is where we start shelling to you guys. This is where we try to find out if these past 2 hours were worth our time. Keeping you entertained, you got to pay it forward. You want to go to Shanahanigans.com. What's that spelled like? SHAN.
AHAN.
IGANS.com. That's the website. Oh, see, we lose all our viewers when we're selling things. I hate you all. Anyway.
Get back here. Get back here, pasta.
Go to Shanahanigans.com. We have our book. We'll do Shrub Monkeys first, of course. Shrub Monkeys, Shanahanigans, Volume 1. It's a collection of the classic.
I don't have it.
Damn it. It's so good you can't even see it. There's a story. It's called The Emperor's Clothes. And there's this guy who's like, dude, I got you this wicked shirt. And he's like, let's put it on. He's like, it is on. He's like, I'm naked. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, it's good. And that's like our book. You can't see it, but it is the best book to not see. Shrub Monkeys, available at Shanahanigans.com, over at our big cartel. It's there somewhere.
You have links on the side.
It's got pages, man. Like, some people are like, books these days don't even have pages. What am I to do? we got you covered, and then some. Go to Shanahanigans.com. You're going to enjoy yourselves with some Show Monkeys book. Over a whole bunch of numbers of those pages. Classic comics.
So many.
Katie drew them. She, like, some people are like, she just imagined them and they came to be. No, she drew them with her hands. It's called art, folks.
Yeah.
Art. But if you're like, I don't want chuckles of the nature of life story, I want humor fantasy about wizards and birthdays gone astray. Well, do we got something for you? Wait, what's the name we had for the other guy? Late to come Jimmy? Or late to go
Jimmy come latelys.
Jimmy come lately. Strap on your seatbelt. It's time for education and buying things. Silly Kingdom. Katie's holding it. Make a noise. Oh my goodness. Humor fantasy, appropriate for all ages. You know, look at it, black and white. Some people are like, I'm tired of all these color comics. My eyes don't see color anyway. It's wasted on me. Well, we got you covered. It's black and white. It's beautiful. Black and white. It's funny. It's silly. It's Silly Kingdom. Alan Rickshaw's 211th birthday. You're going to find that at sillykingdom.com. Spelled like a sound. Silly Kingdom with a dot and a com. There's a page there. You can order that. You can pre-order.
You can pre-order.
This is all right, guys. Come here. Come here. This is revolutionary. It doesn't exist yet, but you can like purchase it in advance. I know this sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. We're calling it pre-orders. All right, it's a new thing. You could pre-order Silly Kingdom 2, a new steed indeed, brand new story indeed, like the title. And my goodness, the cover art. Come here. This guy, Jason Kafo, good guy. He colors like nobody else. This guy, I can't even. He did the cover. He did the cover of Silly Kingdom, Volume 2, New Steed Indeed. You're going to want it just for that. But if you're like done with that, you're like, I've been looking at this for 5 hours, I'm good. You can open the book, and there's a story in there. It's got jokes. It's got adventure, excitement. It's predominantly set at night, so it's got a lot of ink.
It's got a lot of black ink.
We're going to lose thousands at the printer with this, I'm telling you. Thousands! Get those credit cards, guys. Don't listen to anything I said. We're going to just blow our accounts. Go into debt for this book. Silly Kingdom, a new
season. Eat, forget about it. This is nourishment.
Overrated. Go to the Coliseums, steal some of the metal pegs, sell them, and buy yourself a copy of Silly Kingdom 2, A New Steed Indeed. Events, we're going to be at TCAF. It's honestly the best comic event we've ever been to. It's in our very own town of Toronto. Toronto Comic Arts Festival. Many big names are coming. The creators of the Zelda manga, the team, unfortunately I forget the name again. 2 creators, they did all of them. They did Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Four Swords, Spirit Tracks, I think, maybe, hopefully. They're going to be there. Japanese guests for the show. It's going to be fun. We got, presumably, a lot of other people. Is Kazu going to be there?
Kazu's going to be there.
Kazu, the one and only Kazu Kibishi from Amulet, creator of the Flight anthologies, the current going Explorer anthologies, and of course the Western one, Daisy Cutter.
Daisy Cutter.
Right?
Yeah.
He's going to be there. Give me some words. Is Tony Cliff going to be there?
Tony Cliff's going to be there.
Oh my goodness,
Our friend Tony Cliff.
Tony Cliff. Now, all right, you guys want to sneak in for this one? This is book. Okay, it's called Delilah Dirk. I believe you've heard of it. It's if you like your jaw being dropped, this is the book for you. Jaw dropping it is, I tell you. Tony Cliff, this guy, we stayed with him for like days, and he's a charmer. I tell you, I had corn dogs with this guy. He's a guy you can trust, and he's the book you want. You want to get Delilah Dirk. Oh goodness! First second, is it? Is it first second?
First second, yeah.
First second. They published it. They printed it too. Beautiful cover. The cover. You have books, and you're like, why aren't my books have shinier fonts on them? He's got the shiniest of fonts. It is shimmering gold or silver. I forget. It's one of those.
Shimmering.
I don't know.
I think that's a fragrance.
Sure, frankincense all over the book. Buy Tony Cliff's Delilah Dirk. Guaranteed bag of frankincense for every purchase. Guaranteed. He'll be there. Kel, do I hear Kel McDonald?
I hear Kel McDonald, yeah.
We got some anthologies coming your way, guys. You want to come to Kel McDonald's table? We're going to have Cautionary Fables of Fairy Tales, the newest edition, African Tales. Oh my goodness. I've seen collections of stories before, and it's like some over here, some over there. This puts them all beside each other in one solid book, okay? Like, you're not even ready for this, you know? Like, sometimes like, oh, I want to read a book, but they're so far apart. Which one do I read? They're all in the same book.
They are.
I called it an anthology. Brand new thing.
You need to be on this game during decaf.
Brand new thing. You're going to want it in your house, on your shelf, and it only takes up the space of one book. So many different creators, writers, and artists in it. Oh my goodness, I can't even.
Yeah,
Like I will still try, but I can't even. You're going to want to check that out. Lots of other creators, lots of panels. TCAF is coming up next weekend. Get your plane tickets, and when you land in Pearson, guess what? There's a comic display.
There's an art show.
There's an art show right.
Terminal 1.
You don't even have to leave the airport for your comics. You know, just fly to the airport, check out the art show. Katie's work is there. Then you can leave. Leave the country. Get out of here. We don't need you.
he's of course. we need you very badly.
Cool. I think that's just about everything. Last thoughts.
Yeah, so fanfiction the show is this weekend, and I guess events start happening next week for TCAP.
Free Comic Book Day is this Saturday. Go to your local comic shops and get yourself some free comics. Guess what? There's a new Avatar Last Airbender comic coming out. And who worked on it? Who worked on it? I know who worked on it.
I think Faith Erin Hicks has a comic.
Faith Erin Hicks.
Who also has a comic in the Anthology Project,
my gosh,
African Fairy Tales.
This may be the best free comic book day ever. Like the comics are freer than ever. I can't even. You got get out to your local comic shop.
And if your comic shop's being a jerk and they're like selling them to you, go find another comic shop that's better and gives them free.
They're not allowed to do that. 25 cents is still theft.
Yeah, that's sketch.
No. Cool. Well, that's all the enthusiasm I have for this evening.
Yeah.
Okay, thoughts?
Good. Yeah. Thanks for coming by and listening to my sadness about the comic not being done. But we will be there, and we will be happy to chat stuff and doodle and whatnot. So
if you're watching us on Google Plus, be sure to was it like it or circle it? I don't know. So you can get all the latest updates, because if you join our circles, we can give you the latest updates when the show's coming out. Go to the Facebook/Shanahanigans. Like that page too, because that's where you're going to get your most recent updates. Katie's on the Twitter and the Tumblr is at Katie Shy. I'm also on those things. Shaggy Shan. I have no other products. I have nothing.
Aw.
I have no things.
It's okay.
Cool. That's all for me.
All right. Do you want to get some dinner?
Oh yeah, we need food.
Yeah, we need food.
We should do that.
Let's get some food.
We're going to get food. See you guys
All right,
hopefully next week on
guys.
Tuesday, and enjoy your free comics. Cheers.
Ciao.
Good night.